Oh, yes, and we live. Welcome back to another episode of Bandog Talk with the Dog Guy, brought to you by Formula One Canines. Okay, that's me, that's us. And tonight I got a very special guest. I got a lot of respect for this young man. You know, uh, he reached out to me a while back and said that, what, coach, I've been watching you and I like what you're doing with the working dogs. And, if you don't mind, I would like to do an interview with you. And, at first I was kind of hesitant because I haven't done any interviews. So I was like, I talked to my wife at that point. I was like, yeah, man, this young brother wants to do an interview. Mama, what you think? And she's like, yeah, you should do it. Go ahead. You know what I mean? Like get a young brother, your attention. He reaching out to you. It'll be good, exposure for you. And so I was like, you know what, mama, you right. And I reached back out to my brother and man, he set me up for a nice little interview. And I was thankful, man. I was thankful that you gave me a platform. You know what I mean? Your platform to, tell my story and stuff like that. So I'm just returning the favor. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that, in the dog game, it should be a favor for a favor. It's a lot of work that goes into these dogs, a lot of planning, a lot of money, a lot of blood, sweat, and dog shit, as I like to say. And, when you see other people in the field doing the same thing that you're doing, putting in this work, having a passion for these dogs and doing things, in their own lane, in their own right, and not letting anybody deter them or distract them from their goals, man, that's very inspirational. You know what I mean? And it's very inspirational to me to see a young man, do what you do, family. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I just want to definitely return the favor. I've ever since we connected, I've been following you, brother. You already know that. So I've been seeing your evolution. And now that I have my platform, I wanted to allow you to share your, you know what I mean, your journey, tell your excuse me, tell your story like you allow me to tell my story and share my journey on your platform. You know what I'm saying, brother? So, you know, you know,
No doubt, family, no doubt. I appreciate you, bro.
yeah.
I gotta come bless the platform.
Oh, for sure. And it's definitely a blessing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. To have you on, it's truly a blessing. And I know you're gonna bless the chat, the viewers, with your story. And we at the end of it, we're gonna have some questions. So hopefully you're open to any questions. I know I'm gonna have some questions for you. And anybody in the chat who has some questions for my brother, please feel free to, jot down your questions. And then once we do that question and answer after he gets done, um, yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. But if you want,
Shout out to the family that's already here rocking with us, man. We got our good brother Soul Power up in there. We got Big Bro up in there. We got the good brother Repo. We got White Weight up in there already.
oh,
Appreciate y'all brothers coming through, showing y'all support, man.
man, big ups to all y'all, man, for showing support for your brother and also, showing support for me on my platform. I definitely greatly appreciate that. But, we all here for family. And, like I said, I know he has a treat for the world, not just for us, but for the world, man, because, with this, excuse me, with this YouTube thing, once we set it down in stone, man, the world can have access to it. So this is a good way for you to go ahead and, solidify your root system because you are already rooted in what you do, fam. You know what I'm saying? So,
This that type of stuff. This that type of stuff that's supposed to be written down in the books, man.
oh, for
This
sure.
the
You know what I
this for
mean?
this for the history books right here, man.
Bro, this is everlasting. As long as YouTube is still on, and running, whether we dead or gone, you know what I mean? This will always be here for the young dog man, for the older dog man, middle-aged dog man, any dog man or dog woman can tap in and catch my man, the young mad scientist,
I want my
R.K.B.B Dog.
kids. I want my kids to show their kids, like, look, this is what my dad was doing. You know what I mean? They got something to show their kids. You feel me?
Right. And you're doing it right, you're doing it right, with your boys and stuff like that. Introduce them to the dogs early, you know what I mean? Just like you, just like me, we grew up around dogs. So it's just something that will definitely be an imprint on your kids And then, like you said, as far as this is concerned, they can always tap back in, man. Yeah, that's my pops, man, when he was doing his thing with the dogs, man. So, it's good to leave your imprint. And that's what we doing tonight, adding to what you've already left or already put down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
excited.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm excited to listen. You know what I mean? I got all ears. Like I said, if you got a stick, chat too. Y'all got want to roll y'all little herbal sensation up, man. Go ahead and roll you up a little stick or something, or hit your little
I'm
bone
already,
or whatever
I'm
you
already
do.
ready, man. I'm ready.
Oh, I know. Come on, fam. I already know how you operate. You ready like Tevin Campbell? You know what I'm saying? So
Hell yeah.
I'm definitely ready. I got my little cocktail. I don't do the stick no more. I used to do the herbal sensation, but I quit about a year ago. So I've been good, man. Not
Hey,
not peaceful.
congratulations, bro. Congratulations, family.
Oh yeah, it's hard, man. I was on that herbal sensation for many, many moons. You know what I'm saying? And I loved
Hey,
every bit of it.
hey, us weed connoisseurs, man. Hey, that's our meditation right there, man. That's our peace.
For sure, for sure. And it was part of mine
Just
too.
like just like these dogs, man.
Facts. That's big facts. So, like I
Yeah.
always encourage, go ahead and get your little herbal sensation. If you want to partake in that, get your little beverage. If you got a little beverage, go ahead and get comfortable, man. Have your ears open. If you're out there in the yard working with your dogs, man, continue working. If you're out there, what I'm saying, on the job, man, just, plug in, listen, if you tap in afterwards, man, listen again, listen and then hit the rewind button and listen some more. You know what I mean? But the good thing about what I'm bringing to the table is that, I like to be able to listen to dog men or dog women tell their stories or talk dogs. I love to gather information from other dog men and dog women. So, I'll be in the yard, man. I got my earphones on. I'm listening to anybody and everybody's little podcast talking about dogs because, I'm just like you said, a dog connoisseur, but I love dog information. You can learn from any and everybody. You know what I mean? So tonight, we're gonna have a good night. I know we're gonna get some great information. And man, I mean, I'll probably kick it off in about 3 minutes. We give them 3 minutes to go ahead and get comfortable, and then man, we'll kick this off, fam.
Give me 1 second. Let me finish the smoke real quick, and I'm about to head right here and hop on this chair real quick. So
Mm-hmm.
I got dogs barking in the background, hyped up, and all kind of stuff.
Come on, brother. I mean, come on, man. It's raw and uncut. That's how we operate, man. So go ahead and get prepared, get settled in. Let's do what we do.
Let's go ahead and get it cracking.
Okay, man. Well, shit, without further ado, man, we got R.K.B.B Dogs in the building, man. I call him a young mad scientist, man. The boy he got some amazing vision. He's got some amazing dogs. He's got an amazing young program. He knows what he's doing. The young man's a visionary, but it's not no play. You know what I mean? He's not playing around with it. You know what I'm saying? Like the young brother really know what he's doing with it. And I got a lot of respect for you, brother. Real talk. Because when we talk,
Hey, just like you say, man. Just like you say, man. For Formula One canines.
I mean, it's a level to this. It's a level to this, and very few people understand the level of dogs when it's coming to. We're talking about genetics and things of that nature and performance. So I
Yeah,
know
they
that
got to
you
understand DNA, man. At the end of the day, they got
I
to
mean,
know what they putting together. You feel me? You can't just slap certain things together and expect for it to line up, man. Um,
facts,
you got to take strategic moves and strategies in order to get what you want. For that finished product. You feel me?
facts, facts.
You
And I
know?
know you know what you're talking about and know what you're doing. So without further ado, man, we got R.K.B.B Dogs, aka the Young Mad Scientist. I'm giving him that name. You know what I mean? The Young Mad Scientist. And I'm gonna give you the floor, man. Just go ahead and start us from the beginning and take us to the where you are today, man. So we
So
all ears, man.
first and foremost, my name is Samaj James Rhodes. To introduce myself, I'm from Bakersfield, California. A lot of you people know, as California guys, when we get into them dogs, man, we take it serious as far as the conditioning, working dogs, anything in that sort of criteria. So, I mean, we take it seriously. Um, when I was real young, my dad he started me off into the dogs. You know what I mean? Late '90s. That's when I was born. You feel me? I'm 97, baby. My birthday's this weekend. I'll be 26 on the 27th. So for y'all know I'm a Libra. You feel me?
Happy
Um,
birthday, brother. Happy birthday. Early birthday. But salute to you,
I,
family. Happy
I
birthday.
appreciate it. I appreciate it, family. I'm celebrating right now, man. I got to work on my birthday, bro. It's no days off. So pretty much, man. My pops got me into the dogs. You feel me? He was more familiar with the old family Resno dogs. He did own something. He came off that alligator plumber stuff. Uh, he had some Kobe dogs, and then as I got older, he got into the Gotti line dogs. And then he started getting into the Bandogs and bullies. But before that was ever started, we was dealing with our dogs and stuff like that. And pops noticed that I had a talent with them, and he started walking me with the dogs when I was about 4 or 5 years old, bro. Taking grown dogs out on hand walks, and these dogs knew not to pull me. These dogs, he had them trained to where they were gentle giants with me. You feel me? Because at first I was the only kid at the time before we had my sisters in the early 2000s, and then once we got a little bit further up, bro, I was probably about 7 years old. We ended up having a litter off of one of the dogs he got for me. We kept one of the males off that litter, and that dog was just solely my dog. I worked that dog all the way up until he got about a year old, and that was probably from about when I was about age 7 all the way up until I was age 9 that I dealt with that dog by myself. But then the father of that dog, my dad used to cut me loose with that dog when I was about 7 years old. I used to hand walk that dog by myself. And one thing I can say, noticing what type of dog the father was, I knew what type of how to mold the son up because I already knew how his father was. And it was something that my pops installed in me at a young age, man. My pops used to have me go out there, pick up the poop by myself, feed the dogs by myself. He taught me how much to feed the dogs, not to overfeed them. He taught me when to go take them out and work them. Most likely, when me and my pops took the dogs out, we'll go at nighttime, late at night, about 10, 11 o'clock at night, and we used to take them to the fields and let them just drag the chain, do chain work. And as I got a little bit older, when I turned about 12, that's when Pop started cutting me loose with the dogs on bikes and stuff like that. And I used to take the dogs running around the neighborhood, stuff like that, all by myself. Um, he taught me about the train tracks. One thing about my town, you could take the train tracks from one side of the town and you could go all the way to the other side of the town. And that was one of our best places to work the dogs. You know what I mean? He taught me about the canals, taking the dogs swimming in canals. Um, he actually lost one of our dogs like that, and it kind of taught me how to get smarter than him and how to develop a dog differently than how he did. And that's one thing that I take first. You feel me? If it's not a working dog, it's just not for me. You know what I mean? I seen the type of dogs and the type of drive that these dogs possess that my dad owned, and I wanted to see that in something that I produced myself. You feel me? Even if it wasn't off his particular stock. You feel me? If it was something that I gravitated to and I grabbed up myself and I molded that dog into a certain direction, I wanted to see what I could produce off of this dog and see if I could produce any consistency as far as the drive, the intelligence, the agility work. All these things I take very seriously when I'm training my dogs. That's another thing that I'm into too, training, not just being a breeder firsthand. You feel me? Um, I have a lot of experience behind being with these dogs, just from learning a lot of things that I learned from my pops. And then as I got older, I have a lot of good brothers that I have gotten in contact, like yourself, good brother Soul Power, Repo. There's a lot of other good brothers out there that's in the chat right now that I have been in contact with for the past couple of years. And they have helped mold myself up to be a better me every day, you feel me, as far as being a dog man. And but just starting right there, that's what got me into the dogs and got me to see a vision that I wanted to get into. And I want to say when I was about 15, that's when I got my own dog when my pop without my pops being around. My pops left when I was probably about 15 years old, and he moved to Tennessee. He got out of dogs, so my pops no longer deals with dogs now to this day. And I want to be the one that carried it on. You feel me? As far as people knowing that we the ones that we produce good dogs. You feel me? Because my dad was putting good dogs out there at a point in time, and I'm pretty much here keeping it going. You know what I mean? So before I even got into what I'm dealing with right now, I ended up getting my first little dog when I was about 15. and his name was Jordan. He was a little fawn dog, probably about 30 pounds. First dog I ever taught to tree climb, do anything, take him in fields, hunting rabbits, all type of stuff like that. And when he was about 5 months old, he showed me how protective he was over me. And matter of fact, the first time he ever showed me he was protective over me, he bit one of my cousins when he was 3 months old. And I was walking him one time in the field. He was probably about 5 months old, and some Mexicans tried to steal him from me. They knocked me out and everything. My dog chased him, bit him. You could hear him screaming and everything as I'm waking up. And my dog came back and sat down with me, had a bloody mouth and everything until I got my composure back. As I got older, that dog ended up biting my mom's boyfriend. I had to get rid of him, but I ended up getting a litter down off the ground off of that dog, and I didn't keep nothing off of him. But we ended up selling all those pups, and that's what made me want to get into the breeding game growing up because he threw a pup that looked just like him, consistent, just like him, same markings and everything, color, everything, drive, the way he was, the pup act just like him, and I knew I had the talent to breed and mold a dog up to be what I wanted it to be. You feel me? No matter what type of dog I had. Um, we'll maybe get into the bigger dogs. I ended up coming across a Bandog boy, and his name was Scooby. Now I knew where this dog had came from. He ended up getting out, but I ended up setting him down and hiding him. So I want to say I had the dog for about a whole year, and I used to work that dog a lot. I used to have him pulling me on a skateboard, mountain bikes, taking him into fields, hunting rabbits and stuff like that. And then one day, I guess I was working him so much, he broke the chain and he busted through the fence. Never seen that dog again. And that's one of the reasons why I got into the bigger dogs because I seen the caliber they were, the type of caliber these dogs was, and the strength that they carried. And it was just something different about them than the smaller dogs. You feel me? That I was used to. And I want to say it was about 2014. One of my homeboys in the area, he knew that I was good with the dogs and stuff like that. He had a litter and he placed me with one of his pups. Now the pup ended up catching parvo and passed away. He ended up having another litter. He gave me two more pups. Now the black female, that's my male outside. His sire's mom. I sat her down with one of my friends, and then one of my other friends. They had a blue male that was available, but I couldn't buy him at the time. So I ended up having one of my other homeboys go in to purchase him. He wouldn't purchase the dog. When the dogs got of age, let them mature and everything, we ended up breeding them two dogs together. And I want to say they bred them for they had about four good litters before they decided to keep Chaos a sire. And before we even dive into that side, I ended up getting a band dog female through my mom's ex boyfriend. She's no longer with. It was a bull mastiff cross with a fawn pit. Now we ended up getting two pups. We had a female, and we had a male. The male we never got to use, but the female we raised her up. I ended up coming across a bully male. I believe he was some Razor Edge blood. I seen the mom and everything, but I never seen his father. But I knew his father was a red nose. Um, I took that dog home. The band dog female ends up coming in heat, but I already knew what the working ability was of the band dog female because I raised her up from a pup. Now the bully male, I got him at 10 months old, but I was working him all the way up until the female got in the heat. So I don't know what made me decide to do the bully band dog cross, but something made me do that cross. And I'm glad I did make that cross because that's how I produced my male's mom. And the thing about her was she just had a bad temperament. Now, when I took her to my male sire, I feel like his side of the line cleaned up the temperament in the dogs. Cause I haven't seen any bad temperament within my dogs since then. And I'm down into fifth generation now. Now, before we get to that, I end up doing the inbreeding with my male and his littermate sister to produce the females one of the females I used to get my fifth generation pup. Um, Me and my couple of my brothers, So Power, for instance, Repo, I asked them about it before I even decided to do the inbreeding. I said, "What's y'all take on this, good brothers? My dogs are scatterbred. I'm gonna take these two litter mates right here and tighten up on my blood." They was like, "Bro, you ain't doing nothing wrong with it because the gene pool's already spread it up. You feel me? All you doing is trying to get consistency out of it. You might get some inconsistencies in it because they might reach back to certain dogs, but you gonna tighten up your gene pool doing it." So what I ended up doing was I went ahead and did the breeding, kept two of the females off of that litter which was the best specimens in my opinion, as far as which I thought what I was going to get what I was thinking trying to get. So mainly what I was chasing was my male's mom as far as my bitches because that's where I start first. I start with my females before I even move to a male. Um, I sat down both those females. I took one of the females to an outcross. The male he was Razor Edge Bashi Jumanji. He's a standard. He comes off a standard XL breeder. Took her to that dog. Got my pick out of that. Now I have my fifth generation pup. But I went ahead and grabbed my the sister to that female that threw the litter. I went here and just grabbed her back. She's in heat now. So without releasing too much sauce right now, I'm on the lines of either taking this female to the male I bred her sister to, or running her back to her dad. I'm on the lines about it right now because I can go ahead and tighten up and take her back to her father and take something off of that and run that to the fifth generation pup. But I also can run that female to the male that I ran her sister to see if I get any similarities in that litter. So when I take a male out of that litter and run it to which would be the half sister and cousin to the pup or whatever half brother or half cousin to the pup or whatever, I'm upping my chances of getting what I'm looking for. So it's all science behind this, you know what I mean? You just got to map it out correctly. Um, I have some other DNA that I'm using in my yard too. It's just when I'm deciding to use it. I got a cane corso in the yard, and I got a pocket female that has Lewis V line in there. Now the Lewis V line female, she has drive. I know y'all, whoever's viewing this right now, if y'all know me personally, y'all didn't seen the drive that this young dog carries. And this dog does not play. I feel like this is one of the best working dogs in my yard that has the most drive in my yard. As far as her being a 16-inch dog and her being an American bully, y'all know it's not too many dogs out there that can work like that being an American bully. And this young dog can do agility work. She's very intelligent. She can do sit and track. She can hunt. Um, it's a lot this dog can do, and I'm amazed to see what this dog can do. Ever since I done got her, she's been amazing. And same kind of thing with my cane corso. I ain't never owned a cane corso before, but now that I got one and I know where she's coming from, because my uncle he's the breeder of the cane corso. He's been breeding for the past couple of years now. I was supposed to be getting into the cane corsos. I was pretty much waiting. You know what I mean? I was procrastinating, and he called me to come do a tail dog for him. I came when the pups were fresh born, put the rubber bands on the tails. Tails fell off within the past 3 days, and then once the pups got old enough, he wanted me to crop two of the pups' ears. Came pick the pups up, cropped the ears. I sent him his pup back. He left me with my pups, gave me my paperwork. Now, my dog, she's registered with the ICCF. She has the Maximo up front, and she has the Scandiffios far back behind her. And I've been doing a lot of research about those lines, and she's coming off some good stuff. So just put it that way. And I've been motoring her up to be a pretty much. I'm gonna use her for my personal protection because with the American bullies, they can do protection work too. But I'm not gonna rely on them to hold my yard down. Now, with my cane corso, her dad is 185 pounds. Her mom's 130. And both dogs, they go to the beach, they play fetch, they do all type of stuff. Both dogs could work. They could run around the neighborhood off leash and come back home without getting into no trouble. That's how my uncle got them. And I'm pretty much gonna mold her up in the same direction, but I'm gonna make her better than her parents because there's certain things that I noticed with her parents that I told my uncle about, and I told him he needed to socialize them dogs more. Because when I went over there to Dr. Tails, I could have got mauled. Let me just put it that way. If the dogs would have busted a sliding glass, I would have got mauled inside my uncle's crib, straight like that. And I don't want my dog to be a liability in society. So that's where my training aspect comes in hand. I'm gonna make sure I'm out there socializing this dog every week, taking her out more than once, making sure that I'm doing obedience work, high levels of obedience training. No matter how long it takes me to get this dog to get everything down packed, I'm gonna make sure that I'm installing it into this dog. And that's why I start very early with my dogs. I start them when they're about pretty much when you get the dog and you bonding, you know what I mean? You spending that bonding time with the dog. That's where everything starts. You gotta let that dog know that it has to take you seriously. That you are the alpha. Everything that you say, the dog can't pretty much try to go around it. You feel me? You gotta make sure that dog understands you. So that's one thing that I take first. I make sure the dog's understanding me, and I'm getting what I want out of them. You know what I mean? Before I even give them a reward, and that's all it is to it, man. Just building your dogs up in the right direction, man. It takes nothing but time. You feel me? And I got a few good brothers that I'm in contact with. They both were on Top Dog, and one of them first and foremost, he I already been in contact with him for the past couple of years. His name is Otto Stern, and I'm gonna take some classes with him to get my apprenticeship to become a professional dog trainer. Now I got another brother. His name is Samurai Kennels. He has O. Williams Yellow Dogs. Y'all tap in with his YouTube channel. He does a lot of protection work and gets into the bite suit. I'm gonna have him come out and be a decoy, so I can see how my dogs act on a decoy. You know what I mean? As far as doing bite work and stuff like that. You know what I mean? To see if they actually going to engage, because I have tried it a couple times, but I didn't do a bite. I didn't do any bite work. I had a decoy and I had him agitate the dog, and that's as far as I went with it. Like you say, brother, there's levels to this type of stuff. You gotta take it step by step. You can't just jump full off into it and expect certain things to come back. You know what I mean? So you take things slow and you just build your way up. You got anything you want to add in there, family? Question?
I was just listening to everything that you were saying. I mean, you're right. You got to definitely take it step by step. You know what I mean? And I always say, slow and steady wins the race. And it's
Yes,
obvious
sir.
that you have that mentality. So, with that mentality, you definitely should, you know, hit your levels at the right time. Because it's all timing, but it always doesn't happen on the time that you want it to happen. So, like you said, it's just I always tell people slow and steady wins the race. Yes, we have goals, but you're only assisting God. You know what I'm saying? You're not God when you're dealing with genetics. You're only assisting God.
Right.
God controls genetics. We can only hope and pray when we put these genetic
You just
combinations
gotta,
together.
you gotta let Mother Nature take its course.
Correct. Correct. We
And
try our best.
that's another reason why I perform natural breedings. You feel me? We do natural ties here, and we let our dogs do natural births.
Okay.
I have. Don't get me wrong. I tried the AI thing one time, but it didn't work out in my favor, and maybe that was God telling me something. And
I mean, may I ask what happened? What happened when you did the AI? What happened? It didn't take.
the AI didn't take, brother. I did
Okay.
two AIs. I did two AIs on my female. I had her on the right. I had my days marked. We waited the days. We did the breeding the way we were supposed to. We did the dogs meet and greet and everything. The female was flagging. We put the we pulled from the male. We put the semen into her. Skipped the day. Did it again, and that was it. The breeder didn't come back the third day. You feel me? So that was that. We didn't do three AIs. We just did the two. We was fine with that. And pretty much, bro, I waited and waited. Had the days marked. What I should have did was went and got her ultrasound, but something was telling me, let me just wait and watch this bitch like I usually do with any other dog. Count the days. And shit, I waited, bro, all the way up until the day when she was supposed to have puppies, bro. Nothing happened.
Well, it's the old school way is doing it the way you mentioned it. You know what I mean? And that is like taking a coin and flipping it in the air and saying heads or
Yeah,
tails.
it's taking a gamble.
It
And
is a
like
50-50
one
chance
thing and one
to
thing with
do
me,
that.
bro, I do one breeding a year. You know what I mean? I could literally go 2 years without breeding just to watch this pup mature that I just had. So one thing for me, I only breed when I need something.
Well, that's smart. You know what I mean? That's definitely smart because if you breeding and you are breeding to sell puppies and you don't have the right infrastructure to do it, you're going to be stuck with puppies,
Yep,
or you're going to
you
be on
sure
the,
are.
or you're going to be on that give it away now, red hot chili pepper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's definitely wise that you're doing it based off of what you need. And I always do breedings myself based off what I need, and then the remainder I sell to the public. Other than that, everything is what I need. Especially as I'm building my program. You know what I mean? DNA piece by DNA piece.
you
But
gotta think
what?
about it. You gotta think about it, fam. The way times is going right now, bro. People about to get away from them designer dogs, bro. They gonna come looking for us.
Oh yes, I agree with you 1,000% on that. And not only are they going to come looking for us, but they're going to appreciate, what I'm saying, what we're, you know, giving
The
them
work, the work
as
and dedication we put in, bro. This is blood, sweat, and tears behind these dogs, bro.
all
You
day
gotta
long.
think about it. If it wasn't for us breeding these dogs and putting them together, bro, they wouldn't exist. Our line, our style wouldn't exist.
Facts. That is a fact. You know what I mean? That is definitely a fact. But the fact of it, what we're doing is we're putting together, working uh, protection companions. You know what I mean? That's
Stable,
what.
well balanced dogs, fam.
Yes, and like you mentioned, earlier about the no liability, that's very important as well too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Put these dogs together to mixing these particular warrior breeds,
Cause you
still
gotta think about it, bro. That's the first thing people want to say when they see a dog bite somebody, bro, or they see a dog attack another dog. It's a pit bull or it's a XL bully. That's the first thing these people have to say out of their mouths. Now, if they were actually educated and knew what the hell they're talking about, people would know that Labrador retrievers, German shepherds, these dogs are known for biting people the most.
well, if you instigate a chihuahua, that motherfucker will bite you. Excuse my language. That dog will bite you. You know what I'm saying? So it is temperament. It's just like people. You know what I mean? There's very unstable people around that do unstable things, right?
Right.
We see it all the time. So same thing with your dogs. If you don't socialize the dog and it's got the drive to do something like bite, it has bite drive, it has a predatory drive, which is prey drive, it has defensive drive. If it has these drives, right? But the dog's mental capacity or his mental space hasn't been imprinted, then that dog can turn out to be unstable. You know
Right.
what I mean?
That's
So,
like if we don't go out there and work our dogs, right? We just leave them pent up, right? These dogs don't get to see nothing at all. Yeah, these dogs are gonna fucking tear some shit up for sure.
oh yes,
But you have to take that time and put that dedication in, you know what I mean? And work these
yes,
dogs and burn that energy out of them. Because
yes,
when you do that, now you don't have a liability on your hands. Their dog understands that it's a routine. Oh yeah,
right,
I'm coming out at this time. Oh, I eat at this time.
yep,
These dogs understand. These dogs aren't done, bro. That's why you have to breed that intelligence into them. You have to install that
yes,
into them.
yep, yep. And then you got to develop it and nurture it as you deal with the dog. Like I always tell people who buy my puppies, right? Especially my high performance band dogs. I tell them at the end of the day, don't get too excited. It's like you breaking in your sports car. It's like when you go to that dealership and you buy that Lamborghini, you spend 350,000 for, 400,000 for. They're gonna tell you, hey, make sure you listen to and pay attention to the manual when it talks about that break-in period. So I always tell people when they get a puppy from me, especially when I put all that gas and octane in them as far as that drive, I says, look, for the first year, treat this dog like a puppy. Just love on it. Don't try to agitate it. Don't try to make it go rah, rah, rah. Because once you turn that button on and that dog don't know nothing else but that button you keep turning on, that dog is not going to go back to being a nice little pet. You know what I'm saying? So you need to
Nah,
make sure
that
that
dog's gonna be wired differently.
yeah, well, you imprint a dog that's already genetically designed to be that way. So
Right.
if you're not going to take it as a puppy, which is just learning and it just wants your attention, and if you're not just loving on that puppy so that when he's mature, like I tell him, after a year, that dog is comprehending, hey, it could be chill, it can play, it don't gotta bite nothing, it ain't gotta growl at nothing, it don't have to just chase nothing down. It could just be a loving pet. Your kids can pet it, your grandma can pet it, your neighbor can pet it. Anybody can pet this dog at this point in time, right? So now now the dog understands that it can be chill. It's called the on. It's establishing that on and off switch.
Right.
I can be chill in that dog's mind. I don't have to be mean. I don't have to think of everybody as food. I don't
Right.
have to. I can be a dog and be comfortable and be like, hey, curious, hey, what are you there? Let me sniff you. Let me check you out. Not like, wow, what's wrong with your dog? Especially when the dog is bred genetically to be that, like to have drive and to take down a man if necessary and to take down prey. You have to make sure, first and foremost, that you establish that dog's off switch so that it knows when to turn on and when not to. But like you said, you have a dog you don't pay no attention to, especially dogs like what we cooking up, right? These working dogs. Put it in your
Yeah,
backyard.
my boy, man, I could take him out to suburban parks, bro. And there's people out there walking their poodles, bro, little mixed terriers or whatever they got, bro. Now there's plenty of dogs up here, bro. But I have my dog off leash, and he's listening to everything I say, bro. I could tell him go in a sit and stay all the way down in a lay down position, and he will not move, bro. I could go about 40 to 100 yards, bro, and circle around back to him, bro. Now he might slip up and try to run up a little bit, but if I tell him to go back and lay down, he's gonna go back and lay down. But other than that, I didn't install this into this dog. You
Right,
don't take off and go run after nobody's dog or run up on nobody. You feel me?
right,
You listen to what I'm telling you, and you focus on what we're doing.
right, right.
So, and that's one thing that I install into my dog. You feel me? Like even when I'm working with his daughter, I'm working with my pocket female. These dogs, they're not. They have the drive and they have the intensity drive like him, but I didn't teach them the same thing as him. But they're working on it.
So, question
Um,
for you. So, what are you going to do with your pocket female? What's your
uh,
plans with her? Is she just more of a pet? Is she a part of your breeding program? What are you going to do with
she's a part of the breeding program. The only reason why she's a part of that because the drive that she possessed.
her? Okay.
Now, if she didn't possess that type of drive, yeah, I probably would have just kept her strictly an American bully route.
Hmm.
But with
So,
the
what's
thing
okay?
with
So,
her,
what's your
with
goal as far as the cook up? Like, what would you produce?
I ain't even gonna lie to you, family. That's strictly from my main man, man, the face of the camp here, man. Like
Okay,
I
so
feel like
go ahead.
I add that drive with that drive. I know I'm definitely lucking up with something in there, bro. Because
Okay.
it's both dogs have a dominant drive. Um, Now, one thing about her, bro, she's very intense, bro. She's like she has a very intense drive. She's like it's like she has Napoleon complex.
So, is
Um,
that going to be? We discussed off the line about your performance bullies. So, is that going to be that? Is that going to be that of that line? Is you're going to create your performance bullies off of her? Is she going to be the foundation of your performance bullies,
really,
or
really, it's not gonna be called a performance bully. It's gonna be the R.K.B.B dog. It's pretty much an off branch of the Behemoth bloodline. So
Okay.
um, it's all a brand, bro. When we speak these type of things into existence, this is what people are gonna know us by. When they say our names, they're gonna be like, okay, that's the R.K.B.B dog. Well, that's
Okay.
that Behemoth bloodline stuff. That's what people are gonna say. So that's just what I'm gonna promote. You feel me? When I
Okay.
when I run her with chaos, it's like how you do with AK-47. You know what I mean? Chaos is that guy for me.
Got you. Got you. Okay. So it's going to be all. So all your dogs, even the Connie Corso, all of them is going to be wrapped up in one formula, which will be the RKBB dogs, pretty much.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, that makes sense. I understand.
I just gotta do the blend, you feel me? Because my blood is already formulated based off of Bull Master, Bully, American Staffordshire Terrier. So me bringing in Cane Corso and bringing in American Bully is pretty much sticking to that same formula.
Right.
I already have the Mastiff in there. I already have the American Bully in there. All
Right.
I'm doing is adding more American Bully, and I'm just bringing in a different type of Mastiff.
Right. That's true. That's true. That's all you're really doing. So yeah,
I'm pretty much just I'm trying to keep the formulated concentrated as far as what I'm going to pull out of my dogs. Like for instance, with my male, he has more of the bull massive muzzle. Now, some of his offspring they come out with the bull massive muzzle, and that's coming from his dam side of the line.
hmm
Um, with his sire side of the line, you get more of a terrier muzzle. Um, the male that I bred his daughter to, he has that old school razor edge head.
mm,
So with his granddaughter, she's expressing that old school razor edge head. But you also see the watchdog in her too. You feel me?
right.
Pertaining to Bandog.
Right. Okay.
You can see the bone in her. She has that bone.
So is there? Let me ask you this: is there a specific look or phenotype that you're trying to achieve at the end of all this, as far as the different dogs that you're using currently, like Chaos, the Bully, the Connie Corso?
So
You know what I'm saying?
I wanna you know how Mayday he's a big bone dog. He's a
Yes.
bigger dog.
Yes.
I want something on a bigger structure of that.
So you want it bigger than, let's say, I think what they say Mayday was about 75 pounds on a chain weight. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So you want something
More
that,
on the lines looking like Mayday on 100 pounds.
okay, looking like Mayday on about 100 pounds.
Maybe 100, maybe 105, 110 maxed out. You know what I mean? Condition weight.
So how much does Chaos weigh? Let's say his condition weight, and then his, let's say, on the
Winter
chain.
weight.
Yes.
So
So
I would say chaos condition. He's probably about he can get down to about 95 pounds, but I'll probably keep him like at 100 evenly.
nice,
Uh,
good.
now during the winter, when I fatten him up all the way, man, I could say he probably get about to maybe 115 maxed out, but I don't see him getting over 120 pounds because that's not what I don't promote that, man. I don't push nothing bigger than that. Like
Okay.
I feel like the biggest dog that's gonna be on my yard is that Cane Corso based off of her parent size. But even
And
with
what's
her,
and
I'm a
what's their weight? And what's their weight?
her the father he's 185 pounds. The mom's 130 pounds.
Sheesh.
So
Good Lord.
I'm gonna try to keep her down at. Well, me knowing her parents are that big, I'm gonna try to keep her weight at condition weight, probably about in between 125, maybe 100, pushing 130, like her mom. But
Okay.
I don't want her. I don't want her being. that big. Cause my uncle he does overfeed them motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie to you. Excuse my language, bro. But yeah, he does the stove food down. He just lets them run around and do whatever they please. You feel me? Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed about, let's say, okay, so I've experienced that with my double XL bullies, my boy Goat and my boy Prophet, right? And so, certain people
I
ask me,
seen
like,
both. I seen both specimens, bro. Both
I
beautiful
mean,
dogs.
thank you, family. So when I first had them, right, I would let them. They were like kennel partners at one point. Now they can't. They don't get along, but they was partners for 3 years. They had an understanding. So what I would do is I would take it just there. I had one of them big dog food bowls or stainless steel dog food bowls, and I would fill it all the way to the top and just leave it there for them. You know what I mean? And which is a lot of food, way too much food. But that's what I would do for them, and they would eat it or whatever. And I had them like heavyweights. Like I was like, good Lord, them dogs was huge. You know what I'm saying? And it was really because they was packing all that weight on their frame. Now they had big
Okay.
bones and the big body structure, they could carry it, but in reality, they should never have been that big. But if I
So
took
when
them,
you separated them,
well, no, no, no. What I'm saying is, it was the food intake, like you were saying about your uncle, what he was doing, what
yeah,
he is doing. It was the food intake that had them dogs weighing 160, 170-ish type, shit. You know what I'm saying? Because
right.
I had them just grazing at their food. And then one thing about most dogs, if you put it in front of them, they're going to eat it. You know what I'm saying? They'll eat it
Oh,
all.
they
I mean,
yeah, they eat it all, bro, until it's all gone. Every morsel.
so at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I was like, okay, I see why y'all that heavy. You know what I'm saying? I see why y'all that big because I'm feeding you guys that way. So then when I put them on that conditioning and that certain type of feed, because I used to fast my dogs every other day, which was pretty amazing. I loved the way my dogs looked when I did that.
Yeah,
But
fasting is very beneficial.
oh yes, oh yes. So when I fasted them every other day, and then I would put them in the yard and give them their little yard time. And there's a lot of competitive energy when you have as many dogs as I have. You know what I mean? So they're a lot. They're competing for attention, whether they're barking, whether they're running back and forth in their kennels, whether I'm taking them out for their conditioning. So anyway, long story short, when I did that, I got my boy Prophet down. You know what I'm saying? He's like almost like if he was dealing with a heavy set guy, you know what I mean? Like he's built heavy set, even though he'll lose weight, he's still heavier than let's say us who's more slim bill, you know what I'm saying? But I got my boy Prophet, I got him down substantially, man, to probably about a buck 50. I got about to a buck 50, but I got him a tuck. I got him muscled up and everything, you know what I'm saying? Because I lowered that feed, you know what I'm saying? So, like you said with your uncle, I'm sure that dog is natural weight is not no 180, but at the same time, if you feed your dogs like that, yeah, they can be 180. They can be as heavy as their frame can take, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Just think about how many people we knew who was skinny, but now it's fat. Same thing with your dogs. You know what I mean? So that weight stuff is kind of like that's just like deceiving, put it that way. And
Yeah, you're right, bro.
Soul Power mentioned, what's the difference between an XL and double XL? It's the weight. That's the
Yeah,
difference.
I believe it's the weight class, where they measure at, right?
Well, let's say
Because
with the XLs. Well,
Chaos
let's
is 22. Chaos about 22 inches tall with a 3-inch head, and his daughter, she's almost kind of like around that same range. She's probably about 21 inches. Now I haven't measured her head, but she's around that range. But she's still a year and some change, bro. She won't be 2 years old until next April.
let's say if we're talking about like the bullies have an XL standard, right? So if you go off an XL standard, they have a height. They don't have a weight. They just have a really more or less a height, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So if we're talking about size, and just think about when you buy clothes, you got XL, it's the overall size. You know what I'm saying? Then you got double XL, you got triple XL in size. You know what I mean? So that's how conceptually that you would, you know, basically break down what is the difference between an XL and double XL is the overall size of the dog. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, a dog like the Hulk, if Marlon says his dog is 180 pounds, whatever, that's a double XL. That's a really heavy dog. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah, bro.
So
That
that's
dog
what
is huge as a motherfucker.
exactly, exactly. So that's what
And
would be the
it's only one way you can get a dog that big.
right. And so power, is there any difference in height? If there's a standard for it, I guess, right? But that's why I always say overall size with the weight. That's how I justify what is a double XL. You know what I'm saying? What's an XL? If I got a dog 150 pounds and up, that's a double XL. You know what I'm saying? That's damn near
Right.
mastiff. That's damn near a mastiff. You know what I mean? So that's double
Bro,
XL.
I didn't see one that was 190 pounds.
And remember,
Bigger than the Hulk.
but remember what we talked about. If the dog has the structure build to carry that weight, and you feed that dog could be a lot of them dogs is fat. You know what I
Hell yeah,
mean?
bro. That's from overfeeding your dog.
Correct. Now, if you look at the
And
Hulk,
I
right? But hold
trust
on,
me, I know when you overfeeding the dog. Cause don't get me wrong, I do barf diets, bro. I do raw diets here. My dogs just don't eat kibble. You feel me? So in order for you to feed your dog that much, you're packing a lot of fucking meat into your fucking dog.
right, right. Of course. Well, look at the Hulk for example. If you look at Marlon's dog, and this is I'm speaking out of respect because I respect every dog, man. So I'm not talking down on Marlon's dog whatsoever. But if you look at Marlon's dog, the Hulk, that dog looks overweight.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
let's
has
keep
it.
it real.
He his Hulk can't even breathe no more. They got his balls snipped, bro. Everything that they getting off of Hulk is from in the freezer.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, right, his whole, marketing thing was the biggest pit bull, which we know that's not a pit bull, but at the same time, if that's what it's registered as, we're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and respect what he says about his own dog. So we're gonna say biggest pit bull. That was his whole thing. So for you to be pushing that narrative, you can't have that dog, the Hulk, be fit with a tuck and have muscle. It's got to be looking big, right? So it's for
Yeah.
marketing purposes. You can understand why he got the Hulk heavy like that
Yeah,
because
but
how else will he?
I wouldn't do that to my dog though, man.
I wouldn't either personally. I wouldn't either. But for him, it made him a millionaire doing that shit. But
Yeah,
at
it
the
sure the hell did, bro.
it made him a millionaire.
But
So we can't knock him.
what he should have did was he should have stuck with Ace before he died.
Right, right. Well, Ace. But listen, Ace wouldn't have made him a millionaire. So that's like I said, I'm not downplaying what Marlon did whatsoever. However, okay, if you and me, and I just told you what happened with my two dogs when I let them eat like that, they were huge. They already had the frame to carry the weight, okay, but they just got big. Like as if you had an offensive lineman that was 6'5", right? Now, in the NFL, they want them big, but they still want you conditioned enough to move down the field. So them boys is not as
Hell
big as
yeah,
they really could be, right?
hell yeah,
But if you
yeah.
promoting just
I didn't
size,
I didn't experience that shit too, man. I remember growing up, we had this blue dog, and my uncle had this all white red nose, right?
hmm
Now, every time my uncle came over, he used to go in the back and look at my mom's ex boyfriend dog, right? And see how big he was. Now, my mom's ex boyfriend, he used to just get a big ass bag of overall and fucking throw that shit back into the dog, right? Fucking my uncle, he used to get some shit called penny Newman meat base. Now, I
hmm
got hip to that dog food because it was a good feed. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I can't really find that food no more. But my uncle used to throw that shit back into his dog. And my uncle used to be like, "Yeah, Wilson bigger than whatever the fuck the blue name dog was." But he'd be like, "Yeah, he bigger than that dog or whatever." Fucking, I'd be like, I don't be giving a fuck. That ain't my dog. Oh shit, that shit used to be funny as hell. But I ended up coming across Wilson because my uncle had to move, and Wilson was getting into a lot of trouble at the time. And I ended up taking ownership of Wilson.
Hmm.
And Wilson was hell of a dog, man. He was one of the dogs I did a lot of training with when I was probably about 18, 19, man, around that age. And
What kind of dog was Wilson?
I would say he was a band dog, bro, but he was pretty much a bigger pit bull. You feel me? He had the terrier in his face. He was all white, albino. You feel me? Red nose, looked like a red nose pit. You feel me? He was just bigger, bro. He's probably about 130 pounds.
Okay, yeah. So he had a mastiff. He probably had a mastiff somewhere in there in the lineage.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying, a mastiff cross, and that's another
beautiful
thing.
dog though. Beautiful dog, man. Real protective. And one thing about that dog, I'll tell you, man, nothing could have hanged with that dog, man. That dog got into so much trouble. He went to the pound like 6 times. And the only way we was able to get that dog back if he got snipped. They wouldn't release him back to us if he wasn't snipped.
Well, you got lucky at 6 times. They probably would have put him down if it was any other dog. So
Yeah,
you guys
the
got
first
lucky.
couple times, the first couple times that happened, we had to pay like 200 to get him out. And then it was that last time when they wanted to snip him. The only way we was getting him back, we had to pay that 600 to get him, and the nigga got snipped.
Oh, damn it,
Yeah,
man.
Wilson was killing dogs. Like that nigga was supposed to be put on probation. I had a homeboy, his dog was put on probation for getting out killing dogs.
Yeah, we actually had a dog. Check this out. We actually had a dog, right? Which is the grandmother of my watchdog dogs. Um, and she was actually put on death row out there in Oakland, right? Because she done put the wrecked the neighborhood multiple times, and my man got cited. My kennel partner got cited so many times. She was put on death row. He had to go to court, and my partner moved to save his dog, and ditched the whole. You know what I mean? Pretty much ditched that damn death row sentence that his dog had, and he moved out the whole
They
county and shit because
they
his
did that
dog.
to my cousin Joey Porter. They did that to my cousin Joey Porter that played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That nigga, he's he's another reason why I kind of got into the band dog route too, because
Okay,
he did his own sauce too in his yard.
what was he doing? What was he doing?
He took Napoleon Mastiff to some old school old family red nose stuff, man.
Nice. Hey, that's the hey,
And
that, hey,
throughout,
that's a John Swinford. That's a John Swinford recipe. That game Pitbull with that Neapolitan Master.
man, he threw some nice big dogs. This is around the same time my dad did the breeding with one of my dogs when I was about 7, and I took the pup off that litter, and I pretty much tried to raise him like the dad. This is around that same time,
Okay.
and the dogs that came up out of them breedings that my cousin Joey Porter did, man, was some beautiful dogs. A couple of my family members had own son, and
Mm.
I seen a few of the offsprings. The moral of the story: them dogs got out. They killed the dog, and they killed the horse.
Oh man.
That shit
How
was in
many
the
dogs? How
newspaper.
many dogs? How many of them?
It was just one dog that was in the newspaper, and it was the horse in the newspaper.
So only one dog killed the horse?
No, well, oh yeah, two dogs killed the horse,
Okay,
but
that's what I meant. How many
but
dogs? Yeah.
the same two dogs got out and killed the dog too.
Yeah. Two against one is all bad. I've
Yeah,
learned that.
that I was a
I've,
kid. That was in the newspaper, bro. They put them dogs down.
yeah, they don't play with that, man. So I've been doing a pack experiment, right? With my prey driven dogs. And like I said, it's an experiment, okay? So I share it
We
with all
we
my
we we like Caesar Milan when it comes to that stuff, man.
I mean, it's definitely an experiment. That's why I stress it. It's an experiment. So I share the content with my subscribers on my IG. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff I can't share without people trying to hate and get my shit taken down. But anyway, I've been doing that pack. Like can prey
Talking about
driven dogs like wolves, right? Because they're prey driven
talking about
animals. Wolves,
with the three boys
correct?
off
With
of
my
off
boys,
of,
right?
off of
With my
AK
AK
47,
47.
right?
Correct. I got my AK
Yeah.
74 Bandog, and I got my AK 47 XL Pitbull Dracos that I produce. Right. So all of them is hot to them, hot. Right. But I had them.
How old is they now?
There'll be a year in December. So that's right around the
Okay.
block. They'll be a year old, right? But I had them as puppies together. They grew up together, and they were born like a month apart between the XL Pitbull Draco and then the 74 Bandogs, right? So
Right.
I've been experimenting to say, okay, can I really make prey-driven dogs coexist like how it is in the wild with wolves and even lions, right? You have brothers who will be packed up till the end of their life. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, is this possible with prey driven dogs? You know, I don't know. So anyway, I've been experimenting with this, right? And so I got down to a pack dynamic of three dogs, three males together, right? And even three females. I got down to that point in about age 5 to 6 months, right? So my thing is dogs are going to have confrontation, and so
Right.
they're going to fight. But what I wanted to get my pack to understand is that this is your brother or this is your sister. You don't need to kill your brother or your sister over a dispute, a pact, because it's always a dispute, whether it be an energy, I don't like how your energy is, or I don't want you over there around my food, or you getting, it's always a dispute, and it's not nothing serious with the dogs. But then when you're dealing with prey driven dogs, sometimes they take it to that point where they're trying to inflict maximum damage over a
Yeah.
small dispute, right?
Yeah. That's why I gotta watch these guys because I got the grandfather and the auntie running around with with the granddaughter and the niece, right?
Right.
The niece, she's probably about 14 weeks old now. Like I said, Hennessy should be 2 next April. Chaos, he'll be 4 this weekend. You feel me? He was born on my birthday. His mom had him on my birthday.
Wow.
Um, my pocket female, she's in there with the Cane Corso female. The Cane Corso female is probably about 15 weeks old, and the pocket female will be 2 years old this December.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I got it packed out right now. But I can't let all these dogs run loose together.
Well, I learned through my experience, right? And through my experiment that three's a crowd. So long story short is you have a dynamic. So I've had three males together and three females together at one time, right? And they all coexist. Of course, they would fight, but they would reconcile. But what I've learned based off of my experiment data is that when they fight, now if I'm down there, I can referee and I'll break the shit up and discipline everybody. Everybody get their ass whooped because I don't like that. And they understand. They're like, oh, daddy don't like us fighting, but it's in them. So what I learned is that when I'm not down there and they fight, it's two against one at all times. It could be two have an issue, one don't even have nothing to do with it, but they're gonna jump in and it's gonna be two against one. So
Yeah.
I said, you know what? 3 to a pack don't work. When you have prey driven dogs, it does not work because it's always going to be two against one. It's not a royal rumble where everybody get everybody and anybody can get it. No, it's two against one for some odd reason. That's how it always ends up, with these prey driven dogs. So I've dwindle it down to, if you're going to do a pack experiment with your dogs, you can do it early with multiple dogs, but in reality, once they hit a certain age, you can only do two dogs at one time. And then with those two dogs, they got to have the same personality. They got to have the same energy. That's the only way they'll be able to reconcile and respect each other. If you got
Yeah.
two dogs that understand that both of them will take it to the end, and they have a level of understanding that you're really not a threat, but I'm not liking how you are right now, so we're gonna fight. They'll do what I call a stalemate. They'll get into a scuffle, and they'll know each other ain't gonna back down, and then they'll get to a stalemate, and then they'll stop. They'll fight, but then they'll stop because they'll know in their minds like, oh, this motherfucker ain't gonna stop, and I ain't gonna stop, and I really ain't got no problem with his ass, so I'll let it go. So I
See,
figured that out.
with my male, what I figured out with him, man, I can't bring in no older male. But male puppies, he's perfectly fine with raising them. Now, What I ended up doing was I had rehomed the males at a certain age, but what ended up happening was I ended up losing the males during the summer
Mm.
because fucking they was on a chain spot. Whatever happened, they couldn't reach whatever they couldn't reach,
So
and
they had a heat
fucking
stroke.
yeah, man, fucking I lost two pups to a heat stroke this summer, man.
Hey man, I mean you ain't the only one. I lost grown dogs to heat stroke. But go ahead.
So that's where I'm at. I'm at that now. I'm at that point now. Like I'm not when I get this next male. His ass staying here, man. And chaos is gonna raise him up, and man, I'm gonna see how they act together. Um,
Yeah,
if they
yeah.
they get along,
It's go ahead.
they get along. They end up getting into a scuffle, then shit, they going on chain setups.
Well, what I always recommend when you're doing a pack experiment, if you're blessed enough to have them around the same age, that's how you raise a pack when they're around the same age because when they fight, they can, you know what I mean? It's an even match when they fight. When you got an older dog, and one thing about older dogs is that they'll tolerate a puppy to a degree, but at the end of the day, when that older dog is fed up, they'll fuck that puppy up and they'll probably kill it. So I never allow my older dogs to pack up with my younger dogs because eventually that younger dog is going to piss that older dog off, and that older dog's
Yeah,
gonna be like, look, motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you
yeah.
because
I'm your elder. you
correct.
respect you respect your elders.
Correct. And so I never let my younger dogs pack with my older dogs. I just respect the hierarchy enough to know that if my older dog gets pissed off and wants to take advantage of that little dog, whether it be a 1 year old dog versus a 3 year old dog, for example, if I let AK-47, who's 3 years old, go after his or pack up with his son, which is 1 years old, okay, his son got
Yeah,
a
that ain't gonna
lot
work.
his son has a lot of drive, even more drive than AK, but AK has more power. If his son pissed him off that much, even though his son will give him a run for his money because he's got a lot of drive and he likes that type of
And
action,
this
AK's
AK-47 more experience.
well, not I can't even say that. I'm gonna say off of size and strength. It's like and Soul Power can attest to this because he's in the game, dogs, right? You're not gonna take a 35-pound game dog to a 50-pound game dog. It's just, even though they might have the same ability, or even the 35-pound game dog might have more ability, the strength and size, if that bigger game dog takes advantage and gets a better positioning and puts that clamp down, it's going to be a mismatch. So
Yeah,
I don't want to put my young dogs in a situation where, they're testing an older dog that will be their demise if it went that far. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's always
you're right.
best if you're going to do a pack experiment, kind of like what you were mentioning. If you have dogs similar in age, those are the ones you want to put in a pack environment so that when they do have a scuffle, it's fair. You know what I mean? That's why I don't do 3 to a pack anymore because it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? And Joe Grizzy, Joe Grizz got a comment that he mentioned. He said because the pack animals, he said they're going to follow the leader. So if the leader starts getting it in, and everyone is. So what I do is I put similar personalities together. That's what I do. So in that reality, everybody in that pack think they are alpha. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
it's
dogs feed off
always
each other too.
right. But it's always when it's a fight, it's always two against one. Whether it's that alpha, this alpha, that alpha, it's never a Royal Rumble where it's like everybody getting it. Like, nah, it never works itself out that way. I don't know why, but every time I have a 3 pack of similar energies, because I only put similar energies in there, right? It's always two against one. And I don't give a fuck how strong, how tough your alpha dog is. His one mouth can't beat two mouths. Because one thing about the
Hell
dogs that I deal with, the dogs that I breed, they hitting everything. They going for your neck, your ear, your stifles, your shoulders, your tail. they your balls, they biting everything. So I mean, that one dog is getting mangled. So
Yeah, you're right about that.
so
I didn't seen it. I didn't seen it happen myself. In my own two eyes.
I deal with it firsthand, family. You know what I'm saying? I deal with it. I be doctoring up dogs all the time because I'm like, fuck, that didn't work out. But
Hey, that purple spray worked good, don't it?
shit, man. I use I forgot what it's called, man. But hey, good water. Just hope they don't hit a bleeder. You know what I'm saying? I had one my Bandog hit my AK-70 or my AK-47 XL Pitbull Draco hit a bleeder in his shoulder, man. That was horrible because I had to go ahead and
I
stop
seen one of
that thing.
those. I seen one of those when I was about 12. You feel me? I had to break up a scuffle in my dad's yard, and I had to actually I had to nurse that dog back to health, man.
Oh man, luckily I was able to stop the bleeding, man.
I watched that dog lose so much blood until I got it to stop bleeding.
Man, I was lucky. I was blessed. Put it away. I was blessed. But he hit a bleeder. That motherfucker was just pouring out blood. I'm like, no. You know
Yeah, I seen. That's what I seen too, bro.
what I'm saying? I'm like, no. You know what I mean? But these are the things that happen. You just got to be aware. But if you can, family, make sure they're around similar age if you're gonna pack them up because I'm sure chaos will tolerate them to a degree, especially when you're dealing with males. They're gonna test each other, and chaos ain't gonna deal with that young nigga over time. You know what I mean? He gonna put the
Yeah, I put a lot of work into chaos. I don't want the young pup getting killed.
correct. So that's why I say, just from my experience to you, if they're similar, somewhat maybe 2-3 months apart, you could play with that. But older dogs, I don't even play that. You know what I mean? I don't play that because I didn't seen it already happen. And I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna have my little young pup because you mess up a puppy's whole psyche if he get beat up by that older dog, man. That dog might have had some confidence till he get his ass beat by that elder. Then all of a sudden, he ain't thinking the
He ain't the
same.
same. He ain't the same dog no more.
Yeah, he ain't the same. He ain't confident like that. So I don't want to affect my dog's psyche. And I rather him if he's gonna get into a scuffle, I rather it be fair, for him. And I'm not ever doing 3 to a pack anymore. You can get away with it when they're until they're about probably like maybe probably 5 months, maybe even 6 months. After that, it's probably gonna be a problem, bro. Because
Yeah,
it's never worked out for me. 3 to a
just
pack.
gotta be mindful and read the dogs.
Yeah, you definitely gotta be on. You gotta be checking on your dogs every day. I've had a 3 to a pack with some pit bull bitches, and I've had them. They was a pack for about a year and a half. But then it got all bad after that. After that year and a half, it got real bad. It got real bad. So I had to separate one out of there, and then now the two in the pack, they're cool.
And that's
Um,
and that's another reason why I don't leave the pocket and Chaos daughter loose. Like I leave them loose together, but not unattended.
mhm.
So if I'm out there, yeah, I let them run the yard together. You feel me? But I also got the pups out there loose with them too with Chaos. You feel me? So if
Yeah,
something was to go down, I'm out there already. You feel me? I could break
yeah,
that up easily. You feel me? All I gotta do is hey, and
yes,
they go in separate ways. You feel me? But
yes. Got a referee.
I will I would never leave them unattended because I feel like the day I do that, that would be the day something happens because they both fence fight with other dogs. I have some Labradors behind me that they fence fight with,
Hmm.
and both bitches try to go out to chaos when they're fence fighting. So
Oh shit.
I know I know for sure if they're loose together and they're fence fighting with those dogs, they gonna turn to each other, and that's where the scuffle's gonna happen.
Yep, yep. You're
If
aware. I
I'm
mean,
not
that's
out there, if I'm not out there, if I'm not out there at that very second, I feel like Chaos daughter gonna hurt that pocket female, bro. Now don't get me wrong, I think that pocket female got a lot of drive. She's very intense. But
hmm
Chaos daughter, she's a step up from her father, you feel me? And I'm still molding that girl. Like she's already ready to do tree climb. She's ready to do high levels of obedience work. Like
wow,
she's ready, bro. And
wow.
she's just gonna be a better dog than her father as far as breathing. Because Chaos has the shorter muzzle. She has the terrier muzzle.
Okay. So does he have the soft palate where when he breathes is
Not
does
at
he,
all. But
Okay.
the reason why I think why he doesn't have that, because I started this with his mother. I started this with other dogs that I had back in the past. One thing that my dad always told me, when I'm out in the field with my dog, do not give them any water.
Okay.
So one thing that I always learned when we got back, I watched my dad do this plenty of times. When we got back, he'll let the dog rest for 15 minutes before he let them go to their chain spot.
Okay. So
So
it gives them a cool down, gives them a cool down period.
that dog doesn't get to touch any water or anything for 15 minutes until it's not breathing heavily anymore.
Mm.
So I practice this with my dogs from puppies. When I take them out walking or whatever I'm doing with them, these dogs do not touch anything until I see them stop breathing heavily.
Ah.
So that's building up their stamina,
Yes.
conditioning them.
Yes.
So
Yep.
that's something that I do stress out there to the community. I've been saying this for years on my channel. When you get back from a hand walk or whatever you're doing conditioning your dog, do not give them any water. Let them stop breathing heavily first before you let them touch anything. Or before you put them back in their kennel, their chain spot, wherever.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. Especially like you said, you're building that stamina up. So that's very,
Yeah.
very, very good. If you want to go ahead and then it's a cool down period too. A lot of
Because
times when dogs are
at the end of
tired and
the
stuff like that, you know what I mean? They go crazy over that water, and then you can also have bloat happen and stuff like that too. So that's a
yeah,
good idea.
you can also cause your dog to have a heat stroke. I
Yeah,
didn't
you
have
can
that happen
also do that
before.
as well.
I didn't have that happen with my with Chaos mother.
Oh
We was
wow.
out I was out working her too hard in the summer, and we was on our way back to the house. She shut down on me, bro. Looked like she was having a seizure.
Yep, that's
Cause
what happens when they have heat
foam
strokes.
foam was coming out her mouth and everything, bro. I had to pick my dog up and call my wife to come pick me and her up.
Yep.
And once I got her home, this is one way you can save your dog. Wet the bottom of your dog. Do not wet the whole body of your dog. Just wet their underbody. That's how you get your dog to come back within 15 to 30 minutes and save your dog life.
Jeez. So you brought her back to life? You brought her back?
Brought her back, bro.
Oh,
I
glory to
thought she
God.
was I thought she was a goner. But this wasn't the first time that I dealt with this. The first time it ever happened to me, I was about 15 years old. I had a brindle bitch. Um, I was same scenario, working her too hard during the summer. We
Hmm.
was on our way back to the house, and luckily we was just across the street. We was in the field. Fucking seen her do that shit, bro. I fucking picked her up and rushed her to the front yard, turned that water on, wet her underbody. Within 15, 30 minutes, my dog was saved.
Wow.
So I
That's
knew to
good.
use that technique with Chaos Mom to save her life. And the same thing ended up happening one time. She was chained up out there, and I was at work. My wife calls me. She's like, "Katana's out there doing that stuff again," and I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Let her off the chain and don't let her touch no water. Just wet her underbody." And my wife saved her that time. After that, she never did it again.
Wow. That's pretty cool, man. That's good. I'm glad it worked out for you, man. I've had heat strokes and every one of them died. And I did everything in my power to cool them off. Of course, I didn't go and drench them with water because that could
I
take your
didn't
dog for shock. Like you said, wet the
I
ground,
didn't
take
have
it to
niggas say
a area.
I didn't
You
have niggas say use coconut water, lemon juice.
Well, lemon juice is good for the mouth, especially when they're foaming and they have, let's say, that soft palate. It creates the saliva, so that's very good. If you got lemon juice, you can do that. Spray that in the mouth. It creates saliva.
I never tried it myself, but I have heard those options.
Yeah, that works because when they're foaming at the mouth, their mouth is dry. That's how a dog sweats. A dog sweats by panting,
Yeah,
right? So if
right.
that dog is panting but it's not getting any air through because it's all foamy and it dry, how do water your mouth up? If you take a lemon, you bite a lemon, it triggers the saliva glands, and that's why they tell you to take that lemon juice, squirt it in their mouth, and it does work as far as breaking up that foam. However,
Another another technique that I do use to kind of get my dogs successful before I work them. I add electrolytes to the water.
Okay.
So I don't do this all the time. I do it every so often. But this is only when I'm working my dogs a lot. Um, I just go buy some regular Pedialyte, the unflavored Pedialyte.
Hmm.
I just pour it in the water.
Okay. Which helps with their hydration.
Yep, keep my dog hydrated. Another way you can keep your dog hydrated is rubbing apple cider vinegar on their body.
Mm, okay, that's something new. That's a good little technique. So it worked.
I saved Chaos' daughter like that when she was gonna die from worms. And you know what the worms do to you, man. They take everything out of you.
Oh yeah.
We
Oh yeah.
we was in her we was hooking her up to the saline water, bro. Hooking her up to that, keeping her hydrated. You feel me? Pumping that into her. And I forgot who told me to do that, the apple cider vinegar on her body to keep her hydrated. But one of my boys told me to try it. I did it, and it was keeping her. It helped kept her hydrated, bro. Saved her
Wow.
life.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's something new. I ain't never heard that one before.
yeah.
You know.
I had three pups left off of Chaos litter at that time, and I fucked up and brung a dog from my neighbor yard because he had a litter. He had a litter too. We traded pups. I gave him Hennessy's sister, and he gave me a blue try off his litter. And that blue try brought fucking worms to my environment, bro. Fuck my environment up. It fucking cost me two of my pups out my litter, man. Almost cost me Hennessy too.
How often do you worm your puppies?
When I started when they're about 2 weeks old, and I try to do it like a 3 day period, depending on if I'm using the parental. Um, it's pretty much the 3 day process, bro. And then I do it every week, all the way up, just like it says on the bottle, bro. Follow the steps on the bottle.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So I mean, you
And then
definitely.
I do natural remedies too. You feel me? When they get a little bit older, I use garlic and carrots. Um, Apple cider vinegar helps too. You just put the apple cider vinegar in their food, or you can put it in their water bowl. Um, uh, Dry day works. So
Right.
with the dry day, you can put the apple cider vinegar in their water bowl. Give your dog a dry day. That helps empty them out and make sure they don't have any parasites inside of them. Clean their system out. Um, so it's a lot of different things, bro. One thing my good brother Soul Power taught me, you can boil the carrots to open up the beta receptors in the carrots. Um, it's a lot, bro. It's a lot to this dog stuff, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Luckily we got good brothers like y'all around me, man. You know, they help me along my journey, you feel me?
That's what's up. We all should be having an ear to hear to learn and apply. What our fellow dog men and dog women have based off of their experience. You know what I mean. So it's always good to listen and learn. So you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
my good brother Soul Power, he gives me a lot of tips on the condition side of the game, the diet side of the game, bro. Overall, bro, between both of y'all, bro, y'all both be in my head, bro, about keeping these performance dogs going, you feel me?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not something that's popular like it used to be. Like I said, back in the day when you were able to test your dogs in certain situations, especially when it came to the pit bulls, that it was more popular then because it was performance tested. Nowadays it's hard to even, say performance without really putting your dogs to the test. So, for like even people like myself who breed performance
Yeah,
dogs,
yeah.
it's heavy for
Y'all
me.
gonna have a video. Y'all gonna have a video coming soon, fam. Y'all gonna see me catching a raccoon or a hog one day. I'm in contact with a good dude that breeds pointers, and he lost two dogs out there in Fraser Park to a hog. But
Oh,
eventually, I'm gonna join him on a hunt with Chaos, man. First, I want to test Chaos out on the pig first before I do take him out in the field.
hmm.
But I've been getting him ready for this. Chaos knows how to scent track, bro, like no other dog, bro. That dog is like a Belgian Malinois, bro, but in a Bandog body. Let me just say it like that.
So will he have the stamina to track?
Yeah, bro. I take that dog out, bro. We were out there for hours. My good brother Soul Power can contest to this. I take him out every week, bro, multiple times, and we go and hit the field. just to get him prepared, bro. Because
Nice,
this is
nice.
something that I've been wanting to do, and I've been installing into my dogs. So when I have the time to do it, no matter if we're going out to events doing wall climb, agility work and stuff like that, weight pool, or if I'm going out in the field, join somebody on a hunt, you feel me?
Yep,
My dogs are prepared and they're ready for this work.
that's smart. That's very smart. So okay, so let's talk about your goal now. You kind of talked about your breeding plans, but what is your goal now when it comes to your program? You know, your dog program, your band dog program in general. What is your goal now with
One of my biggest goals, fam, and this is something that my good brother, Soul Power, he done brought to my attention. I had another brother, Whiteway Kenneth, bring this to my attention. I want my name to go down. Like for instance, you know how we see American Sentinel canines, DDK.
hmm
We see these guys how they have the front for the platforms. You feel me? How they have the format. You know what I mean? The
yes.
way people speak about them. I want somebody when they see my dogs and they see the work that I put in, the product that I put out, the content that I put out. I want them to be like, damn, who is this guy? I want them to be drawn in. Same way they do with anybody else that they see and they see something amazing and special.
Mhm. So okay, so what's the overall phenotype and genotype that you want to see out of your so let me ask you this. Are you into are you breeding band dogs now, or is it just like you said RKBB, just a RKBB dog? Are you breeding band dogs, or is it just your own breed?
It's pretty much gonna be on the line along the lines of a band dog because that's pretty much what I'm breeding. You feel me? That's what my sauce is. You feel me?
Okay,
The way my
okay,
sauce is formulated is you might as well call it a band dog. You feel me?
okay. So
It's
now that
not.
you have your band dog sauce, what is your phenotype that you want it to be like as far as looks, and then what is the genotype that you want to produce in your band dog that will set your band dog apart from, let's say, what's my man's the Sentinel dog, American Sentinels, for example.
American Sentinel canines.
Yes.
So, for instance, with my dogs are definitely gonna be bigger boned,
Okay.
but they're gonna still be conditioned weight. One thing, one thing first and foremost about my dogs, though, I want to make sure I move away from the shorter muzzle, though.
Okay.
So more of a that terrier snout, you know what I mean? As far as that, like that American Bully Terrier head, the old school head. Um,
Okay. Now, you want to go as long as the Malinois snout, or what you trying to do? The German Shepherd type of snout, or you just going like?
no, we're not going that long, fam. Hell
Okay.
no. I
Okay.
want a nice chiseled up muzzle, scissor
Right.
bite though.
Okay.
Because one thing about the Bull Mastiff, it those underbites. And
Right.
that's one thing I had to clean up within my line. And it took me one breeding to do when I took it to the Razor Edge and Boston Jumanji.
Nice.
Chaos's granddaughter has a scissor bite. But Chaos' daughter has a scissor bite as well, you feel me?
Right.
Now, his other daughter, the one that produced his granddaughter, she has an underbite just like him. So what I noticed with that breeding, when I looked at all the pups, it's probably one pup in that litter that had an underbite. Now, one thing I have to watch out moving forward if it's going to pop up in the next generation. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why I had to. That's why I had to make sure. That's why I was on the when I said what I said earlier about taking Chaos' daughter to the same male that I bred his daughter to, just to see if I get any similarities. You feel me? Because what
Yeah.
I'm doing is upping my chances of getting a cleaner muzzle
Yeah.
instead of
You're doing selective
getting
breeding.
the
They call that
instead of
selective
getting the
breeding.
instead of getting the same muzzle as Chaos, continue getting that bull massive underbite. You feel me?
Yeah. Yep. You
So
doing it right.
that's one I had to sit down at the lab. You feel me? And go back to the drawing board and rethink my method.
Yep. But you doing it right. It's just selecting the dogs that don't have the underbite and breeding those together. You know what I'm saying? And then culling the rest of those out of there.
Yeah.
And then you'll eventually wash that shit out. Or just certain dogs. Like for example, when I did my AK-74 Bandog, taking AK-47 and breeding them to my Bandog bitch, which is a Neapolitan Mastiff German Boxer American Bulldog, and gained pit bull cross. She has underbite in her line of genetics, obviously. But AK having that snout that he has, and his genetics being pretty dominant, like his genes is always dominating any bitch that I take him to. All them dogs got scissor bites and a nice, you know, medium to long muzzle. You know what I mean? So his genes overpowered the whole litter, where none of them came out like that. And so
You
it just
know, one thing I kind of noticed with my line, because so I seen Chaos brother bred to two different females.
right.
Now he produces. He could take the female's color, but still produce his phenotype. I noticed this on two different occasions. He was bred to two different fawn females. He was bred to a blue fawn female with a blue mask, and he was bred to a regular fawn female with the old school champagne.
Yeah.
And he's a reverse blue brindle. Both females took his phenotype, but just put their color on it.
Oh wow. So his genetics overpowered them, which is good.
Yep. So I feel like that's why I gotta map out certain genetics the way I gotta map it out because I noticed that my genetics is strong.
So okay,
So
so Chaos has an underbite.
yep.
Okay, got you. And you want
But
to
he
create
doesn't he doesn't he doesn't have a severe underbite though.
got you. Well,
Yeah. But he
okay,
still
so
has an underbite. So it's an underbite. An underbite is an
yeah, yeah,
underbite.
yeah. Underbite's underbite. It is what it is. But
Yeah.
like you want your overall end result to not have an underbite. You want them to have a scissor bite.
Yep.
Um,
And so that's me being a scientist, making sure that I take dogs to certain dogs that don't have an underbite to make sure
yeah,
I don't produce it no more.
yep, yep. That makes sense. You know what I mean? That's why I call you the young mad scientist. You definitely understand the concept of breeding. And like you said, it's a patience thing. It's a slow and steady win the race approach to it, and it's
Yeah, and
selective breeding.
in due time, I'm definitely gonna have that specimen, man. Like I said, I got fifth generation on the ground now. Once I get sixth generation, I decide where I'm gonna go next with the seventh generation.
Mm,
So it's
well,
all just mapping it out in due time. The end result will be there.
yep. And I want to encourage you to stay the course
Yes,
because
sir.
what you're
You know
doing.
what's crazy? You know what's crazy? My good brother Devin O'Bruley says that same, bro. When he comes and comment on my page, he was like, "Stay the course, family." That's his saying, bro.
Well, now you got two or more. You know what I'm saying? That gave you that
Hey, that's
confirmation.
that's what's up right there, bro.
You got two or more. I just, like I said, I want to encourage you to do that because you're doing something that, like I say, it's nothing new under the sun. Taking different breeds and mixing them up and making dogs. That's the recipe for all breeds known to mankind. We talked about this earlier. So what you're doing is not a thing that people haven't done to create the breeds that we love today. However, there's going to be people that are not going to respect your vision because it's your own. So, you know, don't let that deter you from continuing your path because once you finally create that dog that you had in your head and those people see it and then they respect what they see, thinking like, okay, well, this is the reason why I put in all the years and all the blood, sweat, and tears, and blood,
Well,
sweat, and tears.
I still got two ideas that I still might be trying to create, bro.
Oh shit, you gonna share it with us, or you gonna hold it? You gonna hold back?
I'm gonna just say the names, bro. I'm not gonna say the sauce, but
Okay,
y'all might still be seeing the Behemoth Bull come soon,
okay.
and y'all might still see the the Presa Canero, man.
But
Y'all might see something cross with the Presa Canero, and I'm gonna call that motherfucker the Bull Canero, man.
so you're gonna take a bull breed with the presser and cook it up. I mean, I'm guessing your sauce now. So you go take a bull
Yeah,
breed with the
yeah.
presser and
I ain't gonna say everything that's gonna be crossed up in there, but it's gonna be called the Bull Canero, and then the other breed is gonna be called the Behemoth Bull.
so you
That's
got
two
three.
different breeds. That's gonna be two different breeds that I'm gonna create. It takes four breeds to create your own breed.
So that's in addition to your recipe now. You're gonna be just adding those to your current recipe, or they're gonna be separate recipes.
That's gonna be separate.
So you'll have three recipes at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's projects later down the line. Right now, I'm focusing on the
R.K.B.B
R.K.B.B
Dogs.
Dog.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
feel
yeah,
me?
yeah,
That's what I'm focusing on right now. You feel me?
yeah.
But
And
once I get that finished product, it's time to create the Bull Canero and the Behemoth Bull.
I love it. I love it. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I love that concept. My concept is I take I think of it like a car dealership or car brand. Think about Honda, Toyota, Nissan, all these different brands, right? Think about how many models of cars they have to offer. You know what I'm saying? From the SUV to the sports car to the sedan to the coupe to the hybrids. You know, when you become a dog man that is good in the lab, like how we talking, we kind of getting down to this lab talk in a sense, and you know how to
Yeah.
create dogs and you can create variations, that's where it's going to get real interesting. That's where it's going to get to the point where, like you said, your brand as RK or RKBB, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
could have multiple different dogs for people to choose from. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty dope. I love it. I love that.
Yeah, man. I'm really I've been into dogs for a long time, man. And one thing about me, bro, I'm blessed where it's easy for me to obtain different breeds. I don't have to really like you know go too far. You feel me? Go look for something. I know where to go find it.
Right.
So with that being said, it's easy for me to have these things in my reach. And I already know. I didn't wrote this out when I was a kid, bro. I was like 15. I wrote on paper. I knew I was going to take certain different breeds together, and I told myself I was going to keep certain dogs, right?
Right.
And I'm sticking to that same vision now to this day.
Nice. Nice. That's
And
good.
I
Good.
was 15 when I wrote this in a regular journal book, bro.
Yeah,
Regular line paper.
what your composition book?
Yup. It was a composition book, bro.
That's classic right there. Composition book. That's
Yeah.
dope. And that's where it starts, man. In the lab, man. Writing it down in the lab. That's where it starts. You know, Joe
Even before
Grizz.
I even even before I even made my online pedigree, bro. All the breedings that I did, I wrote them down on paper, and I made sure I had pictures of the dogs.
Hmm. Yeah, you visualized
Even
it
if
with.
I even if I got video of the dogs tied together.
Damn, that's
Like
dope.
it's all history, bro. We have to be able to show it.
That's right.
Even when dogs was having litters, you feel me? I might have got certain clips of the dog pushing the puppy out and stuff like that. You feel me?
Right.
Even when the dog's nursing the pups or when the pups got to a certain age, I showed the whole litter.
Nice. So you documented your whole journey.
Documented, fam. This is
That's cool.
something that I always did, fam. Starting with my Instagram and Facebook. People can go back all the way down to 2014, bro, 2013. I've been having dogs.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how you're supposed to do it right there. Keep a record. You know what I mean? Track your process, track your
Even with
progress.
even with the training, fam. I could go back to 2016 and pull up a video of the all white dog I was telling you about.
So, hey,
Show
so
him.
elaborate on your training and what your goals are with your training and what you can do now already as a trainer. Because we talked about your lab work, we talked about your vision, we talked about your journey with the dogs. But let's talk about your training. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause that's another aspect of what
See,
you train
one of
dogs.
my goals, one of my goals with Chaos, I want to take him on Top Dog. I want to take Chaos on Top Dog and show these people what we can do. Um, Chaos is one of my highly trained dogs here, and one of my dogs that I really focus on as a forefront here. He's the face of our camp. Pretty much, he's like our mascot.
Okay,
So um, when I take him out in the field, he's like the DDK Hulk dog for DDK Marlin. That's how Chaos is for me. He's one of them dogs that I promote highly, and I pretty much showcase our talent. You feel me?
right.
What I installed into this dog from a young pup. You feel me? Um, Me and him being both Libras. You feel me? Like we're very bonded. You feel me? Like this dog right here that I produced. Like he's one of the dogs that I could take and I could really like put in any position. You feel me? And he's gonna come out on the end and really succeed. Um, and that's just one of the things that I want to see that he could succeed in. You feel me? I want to take him on that television on Top Dog, man. And show him he could do anything the Belgian Malinois could do out there. You feel me? Anything you put to the test against this dog, I bet you he's gonna come out on the end and he's gonna do it better.
So you've trained Chaos to do scent work, protection work. Um, what else they do? They do obstacle course. All those things. Have you worked on each aspect of that?
Not
Uh,
to the same not to the same extent,
okay,
but we're still building him up, and he's excelling, bro.
okay,
Like Chaos was never getting 9 feet up in the air. He's just started. I want to say a few months ago. A few months ago, he's climbing up into the trees, bro, and like he's really getting up there in the tree, bro. Like, and one day when the day he did it, it amazed me, bro. You seen it in my video, like you can see my facial expression in my video. My homeboy Soul Power brought this to my attention. He was like, bro, you can see how surprised you was how high he got.
uh, that's dope.
So it's things that I put this dog to the test, bro, and he's just coming out on top, bro. And this he's gonna be always one of them dogs that I really focus on in my camp. You feel me?
So okay, so how would you prepare Chaos for that show? Like, what are the things that you're going to have to do to prepare him to be able to go on Top Dog?
Well, we're just gonna have to start hitting those type of agility courses. Like for instance, I do take them to the parks and stuff like that. When my kids are playing on the slides and stuff like that, I do work him on those slides and stuff like that, just to get him on different stuff. Um, we go to different parks. I try to find different trees that are high, like that are slanted to where I know that okay, this is that height that you need to be going up.
Right,
We do. I try to do different stuff with him. Like even when we hit the field, you feel me? Like I try to take him to where I know he's not used to this. So it's different smells around here, but I know he wants this ball. So I would put his ball somewhere where he don't see me put it, and I have him go find that ball.
make him go track it.
Yep.
What about jumping? What about jumping? You got him jumping your fence and stuff like that.
I started him doing that, bro, very young, and I feel like I stopped doing it with him because we had a couple of incidents where I have a chain link fence. His leg got caught in the fence when he was about
Oh,
24 months old. He was
oh
about
man,
24 months old. One of his back legs got caught in the fence. So I I got that injury to heal up. I started putting them on hip and joint supplements and stuff like that. And
Oh, we lost you.
but
Okay, we back. You back?
yeah, I had a call come in, but
Oh,
I gave him I started giving him the hip and joint supplements. I got the injury to heal up, and I want to say about a month ago, like probably like a couple months ago, bro. I was working with him, having to jump over the fence, doing our usual routine, and this nigga's legs got caught in the gate, bro. And this nigga like yanked his yank. Like the first time it happened to him, I had to help his leg out. This time, this nigga yanked his legs out the gate. Like
mm,
I couldn't even get to him fast enough to help him, bro. He yanked his legs out, like both his legs. I was like, oh no, bro. And I rubbed him down and stuff like that. I started giving him some supplements for it and stuff like that. So now
right.
I just haven't been doing that with him at all. Now I just been doing other junior stuff with him, taking him to other like to taking instead of doing it in the yard with him, I took him to other places to work him in different places. So I know if he does hurt himself, it's not because he got his shit stuck in the gate. You feel me?
Okay. Okay.
So I try to take him somewhere where he can't get his legs stuck. You feel me? Pretty much like that.
Got you. And you mentioned that you're gonna do your bite work with Imperial, not Imperial. What is it?
Samurai Kennels, old William Yeller dogs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
you're
he's
gonna
gonna be coming to California. He's gonna be coming to California. He's gonna be doing some decor work with somebody else. And he said he's gonna come down here. He's gonna help us get into the right direction.
okay, okay. So boom, you have a plan of action to get your boy on that show.
Yep, yep. All it takes is time, man. You gotta practice. Practice make perfect, man. You set a routine, you stick to it, and once you feel like you achieved your goal, now it's time to put a show on. It's time to show off.
That's good, man. I love that. I love that. And see, that's one thing I definitely respect about you as a young man. You have a plan of action. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
The key is plan and then after action. It's one thing to make a plan and don't follow through, but it seems like you're actually exercising your plan of action. And I definitely commend you on that because there's a lot of people that talk about things and have these great ideas, but they don't want to follow through. So it seems like
The
your
main
process.
thing is the main thing is the motivation, fam. Self motivation, especially when you have people in your corner. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to my moms. You feel me? Shout out to Pops. Shout out to my good brother Soul Power. Shout out to you. Shout out to good brother Whiteweight Kennels. Shout out to Big Bro. It's a list. The list go on, man. Shout out to Repo. Shout out to Samurai. Shout out to everybody that's in my corner, man. Support your supporter. That's one of my mottos, man. And
Hmm, it's a good one.
that's something that something we really we press hard over here, man. We support our supporters, man. That's why you see me in the comments of everybody that I support. You feel me? Um, Even though I might not be there right then and there when the live is going on, but I always make sure I come through and show my support. You feel me? I make sure I watch the whole video. Make sure y'all get your watch time hours. You feel me?
Yes,
Um,
sir.
I make sure I engage. You feel me? That's one thing about these platforms, man. You have to engage. You have to promote yourself. You feel me? Only way to promote yourself is getting out there and meeting new individuals.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why I do go to the suburban neighborhoods. You feel me? I take myself out of my environment that I do live in. You feel me? Because I do live in a rough neighborhood. So I want to take myself out of my comfort zone and see what I could do in these other environments. You feel me? Let me put myself somewhere where I don't know none of these people, but they're gonna see me showcasing my talent, and they're gonna want to know. They're gonna want to get to know who I am.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
just one of the main things about life. You feel me? You have to step out of your comfort zone and meet new people in order to level up and move forward in life.
I agree. I agree. I agree with you on that. And obviously that's what you're doing. And like I said, I commend what you're doing with your dolls. I commend your overall knowledge. Even in life, man, you got a lot of wisdom, man, for a young man. So, whoever you're
And
around,
one thing I tell people, man, I had to grow up at a young age, bro. My pops left when I was 11, bro, And like I said, he didn't move out of the state until I was about 15. And I'm the oldest out of my mom's kids. I'm the oldest boy out of my dad's kids. So
Mhm.
with me being the oldest, I had to grow up and get out there. Even though when pops and moms broke up, you feel me, it made me rebel, and I started doing certain things that I shouldn't got myself into. I was around older individuals that was pushing me like, "Hey, go this route, young homie, whoop whoop whoop, this and that." And certain things I picked up on. And one thing that I always was very talented with was the dogs, bro. And that's what people knew me for. It was like that's one young brother that could train a dog. You feel me? That's one thing people could tell you right now in my town. I'm one of the best dog trainers in my town. For me being my age and for what I have done, people could tell you that I have dogs out there. My blood, my line is doing its own thing already. You feel me? I solely don't even have to breed my dogs myself. You feel me? I could place my dogs in certain people's hands and let them take over. But I know the vision that I see for my dogs. You feel me? They might not have the same vision that I have.
And that's a good thing. You know what I mean? It's good to be original and do your own thing. And that's what I promote. You know what I mean? If you're able to piggyback on somebody else who's original and build with that person that's original, then that's second to being original. You know what I mean? But it's also a good thing because you be a part of a new wave. But when you follow the trends, one thing about trends, especially with these dogs, they change all the time. So
Well,
you
with the
have
trend, with the trend thing, another one of my mottos is, man, me and Big Bro make this, man. Hard work pay off, and we set the trend, man. So
oh
that's
yeah,
one of them. That's one of them things that I'm gonna speak into existence, man. You feel me? With us being different individuals, you feel me? As us being different with what we do, we set the trend. We're
yep. Big
trendsetters.
pro on that one. I like that. You know what I mean? Work hard, hard work pays off, and you set the trends. That's the wave, the wave setter. You know what I'm saying? You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
We set that wave. You know what I'm saying? And but see, like I said, that's the road less traveled though. So you're not going to get the accolades and the praise that you would if you was following somebody who already set the trend for you. You know what I mean? And so that's why I
Yeah.
say for what you're talking about, even with what I'm doing, and probably other dog men out there who is not afraid to be the lonely road travel, the only one on your road doing what you're doing. But at the end of it all, once you set it, you right there. You know what I'm saying? You control the wave because you set it and you get to reap the benefits from that. But like I said, with the dog game, it's so easy to get into the hype and follow it. And you might make a couple of dollars following the hype, but when it falls off, then you fall off. And you know how the dogs are, everything is so trendy. You know what I mean? It's this, it's that, it's that, it's this. So you start building dogs off of trends, you're gonna lose real quickly. You know what I mean? You're gonna lose very fast. So definitely
And that's
stay
why
positive.
that's why that's why I had to get away from the designer dogs, man.
Okay, so let me ask you this before I let you go, man. What made you? 'Cause I know you was doing bullies, right? So what made you decide not to do bullies anymore?
Well, for let me just say this, right? Just like I was telling you, it's easy for me to obtain anything that I want. I end up coming across a Murrow pocket mail, right?
Okay.
Now, this little dog had drive. He was about 14 inches, you feel me? He was coming from 818 concepts.
Okay.
That was some of their blood. And, he had a bad temperament. Let me just say it that way. With him having bulldog in him, he had a bad temperament. The dog growled at my son and tried to bite me several times.
Oh man.
So I was like, I'm not breeding this dog into my program. I rehomed him out, sat him down. He ended up getting out. My homeboy that placed the dog with me hit me up and asked me about him. And I'm like, he's with my homeboy in the rehome. He sends me a picture of the dog found. So I hit my guy that I rehomed the dog to. I'm like, what's going on with Roller? Woo woo woo. He's like, he at the house. I'm like, nah, nigga, somebody found the dog an hour ago. Whoop whoop whoop. He's like, bro, I'm out of town working. Like, I didn't even know he got out. I'm like, well, you gonna go get him back? He said he's gonna go get him back and stuff like that. Moral of the story, he never gonna get the dog back. He procrastinates on it. That's the reason why I went back and got my pocket female back.
Okay.
So that's where I came to the conclusion where not just that I got Chaos daughter back too. Both individuals wasn't taking care of my dogs. They was feeding the dogs, whatever, and the dogs got skin allergies. So now I'm trying to get these dogs to heal up from that. And one thing about the bully breed, they're an unhealthy breed for one.
Right.
So with me knowing something about the hybrid vigor,
Mm-hmm.
I want to create healthier specimens. Healthy dogs matter for one.
Right.
Now, when me trying to make these dogs healthier, that's where it comes in the Bandog play. So you can no longer go the bully route and still call these dogs American bully, trying to make them healthier. So, but everyone knows that the American bully is a band dog within itself. It's just a designer band dog.
Right.
So
For
everybody's
sure.
doing their own mix and matching. Everyone's already doing their own mixing and matching. So why not go ahead and make my dogs healthier and call them something else?
Yeah, that's true.
That's
That's
just
true.
where I'm at with it. I no longer want to deal with the American bully or be attached to it because the way that route is going, that empire is going to fall one day anyways.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. I feel the same way, and that's why I went another direction with my uh, bully program. You know what I'm saying? I had a vision at first, and then it changed. You know what I'm saying? Just based off of the direction of the actual breed itself and what it's doing currently. It's like I don't buy into that just aesthetics and that's it. You know what I mean? I don't buy into that. I need a dog that can function and actually
Now,
be
don't
healthy.
get me wrong.
Or
Don't get me wrong. Over the years, I done seen a lot of good specimens. You feel me? As far as American bullies, but I didn't notice prolapse rectums. I didn't notice a lot of stuff within the American bully breed that was very unhealthy. You feel me? As far as genetics, um, as bad as I wanted to get into that lane, the only reason why I would have got into that lane is for money, and the root to all money is evil. So,
mm,
with me being a Christian and me believing in God and me being living based off those morals, what type of man would have been doing that, knowing that just for that solely reason?
right,
So I decided to be different. I'm like, why not continue to create my own fucking sauce,
right,
which I already have been doing.
right. Yeah, yep. I love it. I commend you. I commend you on your journey. I commend you on the process. I commend you on your end result goals, and I commend you on what you're doing today, man. And that's why I wanted to get you on. You know what I mean? Because I know you had a lot to say, and I know a lot of young dog men can be inspired by your story, and also be inspired to, like you said, set the trend. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Put in that
sir.
work, put in that work, work, work. Like I always say, put in that work, work,
And that's
work
why
three
I put
times.
that. That's why I put that picture right there, man. Because that very picture right there is where it all started. That's my dog Chance right there that my dad got for me when I was born. That's in '98 right there when it snowed in Bakersfield, California.
Sheesh, that's classic. That's
So
classic
that's why
right
I put
there.
that picture right there, fam. That's why I
That's
put that picture
classic.
right there. That picture got a lot of meaning behind it, bro.
Real talk, it do. That's epic. You know what I mean? I can respect it all day long. You know what I mean? So, hey, let's get to the
Yep.
chat. Let's see if the chat got any questions. You know what I'm saying? Before we wrap this thing up, you know, Let's see. Let's give everybody a shout out, man. We got what's that? What's that? Bandit Line. Am I saying it right?
Yeah,
Bandit Line Kennels.
that's my young brother out there in Mojave, California, man.
Okay, man.
Got
Well,
some good
salute.
working hunting dogs out there. He be out there hunting coyotes.
Bingo. Well, salute to my man. Bandit Line Kennels Mojave. You know what I'm saying? We got Wide Weight Kennels. That's another one of your partners.
Yeah, that's one of my good brothers right there, man. He
Man,
got
they
my
came.
personal line.
Okay, salute to Wide Weight Kennels. You know what I mean? Showing up and showing out. Of course, we got Soul Power, aka Gamed Up. Salute Soul Power. Much love and respect to you. I think we had Big Bro on there, right?
Yeah, big bro was up in there.
Big Bro TV came on. You know what I'm saying? He came in and showed up and showed out. We got YouTube University School of Hard Knocks. Salute
That's Repo.
for showing.
Repo Diamond Kennels.
Okay, salute for showing up and showing out for family. We got Joe Grizz. He came and showed up and showed out. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Salute to
you
everybody
know,
in the chat, man.
yeah, man. Salute to the chat. And again, salute to you, man. Like real shit, family. Oh, we got my family, James. You know what I'm saying? Hey, James got one of them AK-74 band dogs, those exclusive AK.
Salute to James, man.
Yeah, yeah, he got
Hey,
one of
AK
those
forty
exclusive.
seven, man. AK-47, man. That's like man, that's like chaos to me right there, man. That's like one of them dogs right there, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man.
You
Hey,
know, you always
when the
show
time
love.
come, when the time come, I'm definitely coming to come source for some of that AK-47 blood to blend into some of this shit, man.
Oh, you gonna love him in your blood. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? I got everybody fucking all up in the bunch. Excuse my language, but all up in their little panties about because I'm about to take AK to that Kangol in
Yeah,
2024. So you got
you about to create your bull herders, man. It ain't
yeah,
nothing
you
wrong with that.
go on, man. Hey, you got the haters on there and you got the lovers on there. Boy, they over there like, man, this.
That they I know they didn't heard of a bull lurcher. That's a pit bull crossed with a greyhound.
Those are great catch dogs, by the way.
Yeah.
The, the
So
bull.
what's wrong with my guy? What's wrong with my guy creating a bull herder? You feel me? He wants to see what it's gonna be. You feel me? What that product's gonna come out looking like. You feel me? It's he in the lab right now. You feel me? You
I
can't be
mean,
mad because he trying to create something new. You feel me? You
but
might
that's
want to
why
buy it when you see
hey,
it.
that's why they be mad because I'm in the lab doing like we just talked about trend setting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know,
man.
they
Imagine
they
when
they.
you look when you get the finishing touches of the bull herder, they gonna come and get the bull herder because they know
Oh
what
yeah,
AK-47 act like.
they gonna get
And
those for
then
sure. They,
the Kango,
I
we
know,
know
man.
about Kangos now. We know
About
about
the
Kangos now. I seen Kangos get bred with German Shepherds. And them they was some nasty dogs, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was like 15.
bruh. But you know that's how it is. You know I always say this. They love what well no they hate what they love. That's what I always say. You know what I'm saying? They it's something that like oh man he's doing something that I wish I could do. So let me go ahead and downplay what he got going on, man. But I love it. You know what
They
I'm
wish
saying?
they wish they had that sauce, man. That's all it is,
Correct,
fam.
correct. Or they had the balls to even get the DNA to cook it up. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't.
And that's what's wrong with people nowadays, man. They don't know how to congratulate, man.
Yeah,
They wanna always discredit.
correct, correct. And I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. You know, one brother to the next is mostly our own people hating on.
Right. You right. You right about that, bro. And that's
Which
why
is the
I ain't
same
gonna
thing.
lie to you, bro. I get along with more Hispanic and whites than I get along with my own culture, bro.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Now,
It's pretty,
don't get me wrong. I get showed some love from our culture. You feel me?
yeah,
But
a few though, a few.
the most love that I do receive is for somebody that's completely different from me, man.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You know, which is sad. You know, it's sad because every time I see the haters in the comments, you know, you might have a few scattered others, but majority of them is brothers. hating. Like, why you over there hating, man? But then, hey, but then check it out. You go check their profile, they follow you and stuff. So it's whatever, man. It's funny.
Yeah,
It's definitely
yeah,
entertaining.
they
You know what I mean?
watching you. You feel me? They want to be you.
Correct. That's why I say they really love what they hate at the end of the day. So it is
I
what it
had
is. But
I had I had I had a brother tell me one time, right? He said I was in his way. Now he
with your
had
dogs, because of
yeah
your
he
dogs.
yeah, and I wasn't calling my dogs American Pit Bull Terriers at all.
Okay.
I have always said that my dogs are working excels.
Okay.
That's what I've been calling them for a while now. And this brother had the audacity to come into my comments and tell me that I was in his way.
What kind of dogs was he advertising?
American Pit Bull Terriers.
Oh yeah, they the worst. They hate me. Hey, hey, family, they hate me because I be promoting my boy as a double XL pit bull freaking nature because that's what he is. Phenotype, genotype, just like my standard pit bulls, AK-47. He can do everything that my standards can do. He just bigger, stronger, and faster. And he's a pit bull by genetics, but he's just bigger. They hate it. You know what I'm saying? They hate it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Let them, you know what I'm saying? Hey, family, let them, man. You know what I'm saying? Let them.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
we
standing
we
in your
we
way.
we the one we the ones feeding our dogs, man. We the ones doing this shit, man. So
Man,
whatever they
oh,
gotta say, bro, it don't ever matter. You feel me? We gonna
man,
continue doing what we do anyways. You feel me?
facts. I just like, you know what? You on my stuff, you know, voicing your little 1 cent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not on your post. You on my post. You up in my stuff because you want to get
On
clout.
everything, bro.
They just want
On
clout. You know what
everything,
I'm
bro.
saying?
On
Because they
everything. And
know
you know what
people.
was crazy? We was cool. I was cool with the person at a point in time. You feel me? And
Oh,
then,
wow.
well, before he did this, I sent him one of my videos. He's like, don't send that to me. My dogs, I'm in a different lane than you, or I'm in a faster lane than you, or some shit the nigga said. So
Wow.
I
Wow.
unfriended the nigga on Facebook. So I guess he took the unfriend to Facebook. He took that to heart. That's probably what made him come comment on my shit.
Okay. So he's just bitter on some personal shit. You know what I mean?
Like the nigga started fucking like the nigga started fucking copy watching my videos, talking shit about my shit, talking about my recall, all kind of shit, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He trying to feed
he's
off
like,
you.
he's like, he's like, I hate his recall.
Yeah. Hey, I
Oh
think we got a
man,
hey family, I think we got a question from KRGO. You know what I'm saying? I'll put it on the screen here. It says, "How are you choosing the breedings to get the end result? Is there a specific order? Do the females carry more of the traits than the males?" You know what I'm saying? He
yep,
said he's
that's
in it.
where I build based off the females first. You feel me? So whatever female I'm using is it has to the dog has to be able to throw the dog that I'm looking for. You feel me? Which is Chaos Mom. So Chaos daughter, I already bred one of them to the male that I'm going to. Now, his other daughter, I'm about to take her to that same male to see if I get any consistencies. So this is where I'm going to get my male from to take to the niece of the female. You feel me? So it's going to be a half brother cousin breeding. Where I'm going to get my end result pup from.
Mm. Yeah, man, he just gave you some game, KRGO. You know what I'm saying? He just gave you some in the lab recipe game. You know what I mean? Showing you how he gonna cook it up. But yeah, that's a great
That
question right
and
there.
that's the breeding I got going down right now. You feel me? So pretty much I build based off the female first. You feel me? I'm looking into the female before I even think about breeding the female. Now, once I feel like I'm ready to use this female, now it's time for me to source out and use a male. You feel me? Now,
Hmm.
depending on what stud that I have available at that time, if I use that stud before and I know what that stud's going to produce, that's where I move forward from.
It
But I
is
have to build. I have to know about the dog first before I even think about using that stud on my female.
Yeah, that's a fact. And just know this: if you're a breeder, you get into breeding dogs, you better have good females on deck. Your first dog should be a female or
It starts with the
females.
bitches, man. It starts with the
Okay,
bitches, man. If you want to produce your own male, you better have you a foundation bitch.
better have you a foundation bitch. There's a lot of people because the males are bigger and all that stuff. You know what I mean? They want males and stuff like that. I'm talking to the breeders now.
Well,
You know, I'm talking
well,
to the consultant
nowadays
breeders.
you got to think about it. Nowadays, a lot of people breed based off the male.
Yeah, yeah,
They want the biggest name male that they could find.
yes, which
If
is
that dog if
backwards.
that if that dog if that dog got some clout behind it, they run into it.
Yeah, that's
I
back.
feel
That's
like
backwards.
I feel like you need to run to the female that you know that produces herself.
Yeah,
You need to go,
gotta have
go to a
females.
female that can re that you need to go to a female that can reproduce herself. If that female can reproduce consistency based on what she her phenotype, you need to build based off those bitches.
Mm,
Now, when you get your male, now you need to focus in on traits
mm-hmm,
in order to get that consistency that you're looking for.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
that all comes with raising the dogs and filling the dogs out. You
Right.
feel me?
Yeah,
You have to
yeah,
have the specimens in front of you. You feel me? If you don't
yep.
have the
That's the
specimens in
dogs
front
in
of
front
you,
of you.
you don't know what traits they're going to pull from. You don't know what they're expressing.
And also, too, you know what, the bully world do this a lot. You know what I'm saying? They base their dogs off of pedigrees. Shit, excuse my language, right? But you need
And
to base your
I don't even breed for the pad, bro. I'm
right.
breeding
But
for the
that's
drive.
well, exactly. Like what you mentioned, that was very important. But what you mentioned that's very important is you look at the dog in front of you. You know what I'm saying? It goes back to what I was talking in previous episodes of KISS method, keeping it simple, stupid. You judge the dog by what you see, not by what's on the paperwork. And the reason why you don't do that, there's two reasons. The paperwork could be falsified. That's one reason. And then the other reason is you're not guaranteed to get those genetics from the previous dogs in the pedigree. You're not guaranteed to get those looks. If and that's if you're blessed enough to know what those dogs those phenotypes and genotypes of those, let's say, three generations top and bottom were. That's if you blessed enough to know what those dogs have phenotypically and genotype wise. You know what I'm saying? So if
And that's
you
why
don't
another
judge
thing I'm gonna
the dog
say.
by what you're looking at, then you're shooting it, you're pissing in the wind if you're betting on pedigrees. You know what I mean? So you said it
Another
best.
thing, another thing is too. You gotta be there to put the breeds together. You feel me? If you seen what was put together, then you know what is what.
Yes.
You know where to move forward from. Especially if you know what
Yes.
the parents is looking like.
Correct.
Especially if you've
Correct.
seen the breeding go down. That's why, like a lot of the people that I got dogs from, I deal with them on a personal level. You feel me? I was with them every day or whatever. You feel me? Every other day. So whenever the dogs did come in heat, and we over there chopping it up, smoking, drinking, whatever we're doing, I'm actually watching this breeding go down. You feel me? Before I even got a pup from them when I was younger. So when I did get dogs from certain individuals, now I know what sauce I'm running with. You feel me? Before I even breed this to anything,
Mm,
because I'm not just gonna take any dog and try to line this up with something. You feel me? I want to know what's behind this motherfucker.
right. Right. Well, back to the pedigree. So if you have individuals that you've bought the dogs from that you know the what's behind, right, your dog that you're purchasing or that the dog that you have, then you can kind of gauge what the likelihood of characteristics that you're going to be passing on to your offspring. So the
Yep, because
pedigree
I was
plays a
right there. I seen how their dogs act. You feel me? I was right there to see how they dogs, what type of individuals that these dogs were. You feel me? Like
mhm,
a lot of stuff that I move forward with is because I seen how the dogs acted. And I knew I was like, all right, I could see myself with a pup off of this dog, and I could run this to something. You feel me? Depending on how
Mhm.
that pup developed.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that's the key word. What you said is develop. You know, your dogs can have the genetic attributes that you put in that dog genetically, but it's up to you as the owner or the trainer to develop it. It's like you taking a car and you taking a and you putting a motor in it, and that mechanic has to know how to tune that motor to bring out the best of it. You know what I mean? Same thing with your dogs. The
It's
dog
all
is
facts.
bred a
It's
certain
all
type of
facts,
way,
man.
but you have to develop what is bred into that dog. And a lot of people give up on their animals because they expect their animals to do stuff without the development. And that's not how it works. Just think of it, if LeBron James didn't go and get coached by a professional basketball coach, or he didn't go to any of those camps that they sponsored him in, or whoever paid for, he wouldn't be the LeBron James that he is today. See what I'm saying? Michael
Right.
Jordan wouldn't be MJ without the tutelage of his coach and the training. Same thing with your dogs. You know
And
what I'm
Kobe.
saying?
Same thing with Kobe.
Who,
Any other
who,
athlete out
who
there, who,
thank you.
whoever, fam.
Thank you. And that's the facts. You know what I mean? So you have to understand this when you're dealing with an animal. Is these animals have the genetic talent. If you bought that dog specifically for the genetics, like how we're talking about these genetics, is very important. These genetic characteristics. If you know your dogs that you purchase have these genetic characteristics, it's up to you to bring it out, or to fine tune it. That's pretty much what I like to say. Fine tune those genetics. And it takes work. Like you're a trainer, so it takes work and repetition. And that's how dogs learn. They learn by reps. The more you
Yeah.
do it, the dog picks it up. Like, okay, you want me to do this? And you do it
And you
over
know
and
what's
over.
crazy, bro? You know what's
Go ahead.
crazy? With the two females that I just received back, right? They've been gone for some time now. But the work that I installed into these two bitches, I brought these bitches back like they never left.
Mm,
Same
but
training that
see,
I installed into these dogs, I took these dogs out and performed the task with them. And these dogs are doing it like they never left.
mm, well, that's your gift. You know what I'm saying? That's the gift that you have as a trainer. You know how to, relate to the dog. You have a personal relationship with the dog, and then you can bring certain things out of a dog that the average person is not going to know how to do. You know what I mean? So that's just a credit to you and your abilities of dealing with your dogs and knowing your dogs. But like I said, that's very important for us as dog owners, is to take the time to develop your dog, as if like, for example, if you went for a new job, you qualify on paper, but you still got to learn what your boss wants you to do. So you got to go through some training
And
and shit. You got to go
you
through
still got to learn.
orientation.
You still got to get trained for that task at hand.
Facts. So that concept has to be the same with your dogs. You know what I mean? If you're not thinking
Facts,
that
family.
way, want. Hang it up. You know what I'm saying? And don't blame it on your dog either. Blame it on you. You know. Now, when you do all that imprinting and that dog doesn't get it, then that dog is not cut out for the shit. Like how you were talking about. You know what I mean? Certain
Yep.
dogs you had
I
to
had
get
to.
rid of.
I just had to get rid of two Dogo Argentinos, two Belgian Malinois, and one American Bully.
Yes, yes. And
So
and
that's
hey,
five
and Jay,
dogs. Five dogs that I had to rehome.
so check this
That
out.
got
We got a question.
that got cured out of my program. Yeah, they said so. Investing in training is definitely a correct move, depending on what you're trying to do with the dog. You have to have a purpose for the dog. So depending on the agenda or the purpose that you have, the task at hand that you have for the dog, then you know what type of training that you need to get into, because it's different type of levels of training. You have obedience one, you have obedience two, and then you have higher levels of obedience training. Then you have protection work. You have basic protection work, which is just agitation work before you even get into bike work and stuff like that. Um, it's all different levels of training that you could get into. So depending on the purpose that you have for your dog, then you know what avenue that you need to take.
So it is a
That
correct move, right? So you're agreeing with James,
yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely. Training your dog is always something that you should want to do. That's building a bond with your dog. And that's one
Yes,
thing that you always
I
want to
agree.
do with your dog. You want to build a bond with them. You don't just want the dog just to have a dog.
Yes, that's very
These
important.
dogs these dogs should always have a job or a task that they need to do. Because then they're going to find something to do.
Yes, that's very important. That's very important. And so I agree. I agree with him, James. You know what I mean? That is, especially if you want to fine tune. It's the concept is for anything and everything. If you want to bring the best out of it, you got to practice. You have to. If you got to put in that work. So if
Yeah,
you
because
don't have the
you
time,
definitely do
to
not you
then
definitely do
definitely.
not want a liability on your hands. That's one
Oh,
thing you don't want a liability on your hands.
you definitely don't want no liability. Oh man. Oh
It
no,
will
no,
it
no.
will you will find yourself in court paying a lot of fines.
Yes, sir. I had a pit bull, right? I had a pit bull of mine who was a liability. It was a female, and I had to put her on lockdown because she would find a way to escape out of her kennel. She would bite through fences. She was so determined to kill that she became a liability. And I had to put her on what I call 24 or 23 in one lockdown, where she was locked in her kennel and she could only have an hour outside in a secluded yard that was pretty much escape proof for her to come out by herself. And she lived her life like that because she was a liability. You know what I'm saying? She had no prey drive off switch. Like there was no such thing as off when it came to prey drive. You know what I'm saying? And that was a
See, that's one
liability.
thing that I'm working on. That's one thing I'm working on with my pocket female because once she gets going, she won't stop. And that's one thing that amazed me with her because with the American Bully breed, them dogs is like they can't go too far.
Right?
So with,
They
with,
got
with her being an American with her being an American Bully breed and her having that type of stamina, is I gotta implement it somewhere in my program somehow. Because I feel like with Chaos Drive and her drive, the specimens that I get, them gonna be some nice drivey dogs. But they gonna be well balanced because
key word balance.
she is a well balanced dog. Um, I never really had a problem out of her. Not not that I could think about right now. Um, she is a yappy dog, but I didn't learn how to get her under control.
Right?
Um, she's a very amazing dog. Let me just put it that way, man. Um, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do the agility thing with her, and when I first started working with her, she kind of was she had anxiety doing it, and now I done got her out of the anxiety part of it. So now she's confident about it now. Um,
Okay. Let me ask you this: how long did it take for you to work with her? Like, what did you do to work with her to get her confident and to break her anxiety?
I just continue doing it. Honestly, um, one thing her favorite thing is the flirt pole and fetch. So with me knowing that she likes the raw cowhide on the end of the flirt pole, and that ball that I got because I use the chuck it ball. I don't use tennis balls. So
Okay.
with me knowing that she's very drivey for those two things, I kind of implemented it to my own technique to where I used it in my method to my own madness.
Hmm.
Here I come, baby. Yeah, I gotta hurry up. My wife, I gotta get in there and spend some time with my wife before we get out of before she
No,
laid down.
no,
She gotta go to
no,
work
no.
tomorrow.
It's
But
it's all good.
but
It's all
her with her being real driving for those two things, I implemented into my method madness. And what I did was I will hold it and kind of guide her into the course. You know what I mean? To where she'll go after it, and she was doing the course. And
okay.
that's how I got her to get confident in doing it. After repetition, after that she just stopped caring about it.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
she didn't mind going over the course, and she stopped showing the anxiety. Because that's one thing. Like, I think what it was, she failed one time, and she didn't want to do it no more. And I ended up coasting her back into it. And what I did was I did it slowly with her. I took my
Okay.
time because I
Yep.
knew that she was psyched out about it from falling. So
Yep. Okay.
what
Yeah.
I did
That
was
that
I
makes
took things very slow with her. You feel me? And once I built up her confidence, she's been excelling.
okay. And so yeah, I wanted you to mention that since you're a trainer. You know what I mean? And you have to have patience. It's like dealing with a child. You have to have patience
Definitely.
with children. You know what I mean? And you have to have patience with your dogs. And you have to let them know at the end of the day when you're dealing with them and you want them to do something that they're not confident with, that you're confident in them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you're willing to take the time to motivate them to do the task at hand, even though they might not be confident naturally to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you said, man, patience and repetition, finding something to motivate them. Always encourage your dogs. You know what I mean? Even if they don't do what you want, still give them that energy, that good boy, good boy, good boy. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying?
You gotta
Give
you,
them
you you
that
gotta
energy,
you
man.
gotta reward them, man. You gotta reward them, man. Like, even when you're doing the flirt pro with them or whatever, you feel me? Let them win.
Yes.
That's how you build
Yeah.
them up, man. You let them win, and you build. That's how you build them up to want to do it again.
There you go. You know what I mean? There you go. And then once that
Because
confidence is
sometimes,
built,
sometimes dogs they get tired of certain things. You feel me? That's why you got to switch it up. You can't keep continue doing the same thing with them over and over and over. Eventually, they gonna learn how to win and overtake because they gonna get smarter. So
yeah,
you got to switch it up. You got to switch it up with them. Do different things with them and see what they excel at and what they don't excel at.
I agree.
And
I
that's just
agree.
and that's one thing that I'm always installing to my dogs. You feel me? I'm gonna do everything in my power to see what these dogs is capable of, because that's what I'm speaking into existence. You feel me? When I'm telling people, yeah, this dog could do anything an American Pit Bull could do, or anything that a Belgian Malinois could do. That's really what I'm speaking into existence, because that's what I see out of my dogs.
Mm. And then now don't forget that's the work you put in to get that result.
Yep, that's hard work and dedication, man. Like I said, I've been
Yeah.
doing this stuff for 10 years, man. I'm just getting my fifth generation pup on the ground. I'm working on my
Wow.
sixth generation breeding right now. So in
Wow.
due time, once I get past seventh generation, I'm still not going to be at the finished result until I blend the pocket and the cane corso into my blind. Now, when the time comes when I see that fit, it's all up to when I plan it. You know what I mean? When I decide to do those crosses. You feel me? The cane
Right.
corso, she's only 15 weeks old, so I got nothing but time with her.
Right.
Chaos's granddaughter, she's only 14 weeks old. I have nothing but time with her. Once those dogs mature and they fill out and they they exceed the standard that I put for them, then that's when we'll move forward with those dogs. But my next breeding is most likely gonna breed with Chaos and Roxy, and that's where I'll get my seventh generation.
Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. And I know that your time is running out. and definitely want to give you a salute. And again, thank you for sharing your story. Um, a lot of knowledge for a young mad scientist, man. A lot of knowledge for a young dog, man, and it's based off of your experience, man. And I greatly respect that. Um, I'm listening to your formulas, and I'm loving it. I love your vision.
Appreciate it,
I
family.
mean
I appreciate it.
everything
I
that you've
definitely, I
taught.
definitely,
Go ahead.
I definitely let you appreciate you for letting me come on and bless your platform too, man. Like that's all we got is each other, man. As us being into these dogs, man, building the type of dogs that we build, man. Like we are the ones that's gonna be able to stand the test of time, man.
Thousand
Like
percent.
we're gonna be the ones that's gonna be out there hunting for our families. You feel me? Bringing in the bacon. You feel me? Because you gotta think about it, bro. The times where we going right now, man, we're gonna have to resort back to them old ways. You feel me? And that's
Right.
gonna be definitely hunting for our own food because inflation is a motherfucker. Let me just say it that way.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely going through a shift right now, and we got to be as self-sufficient as possible. So, like I said, dogs like ours are going to be, the working dogs back in the family is going to be something that's it's going to be a necessity. It's not going to be just a want. It's going to be a necessity. Like, just with the way of the world and people, especially out here in California, these cats out here are stealing everything nowadays, and they don't even care. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely need something that's
Oh
going to
yeah,
protect the household.
they jump in our yards, bro. They ain't leaving. They
Very
I was just saying they got turned into dog food.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? And then we ain't getting sued for it either. You know what I'm saying? So it is what
Hell
it is.
no, they
But
made that decision to jump in.
facts. But what I'm saying is that people who want dogs, and they were like you said, they were into just the designer, all how cute dogs is shifting into like I need something that's gonna protect my property and protect my family. You know what I'm saying? Is that's gonna do
Right.
some work. I'm feeding this dog, so I need this dog to do some work too. I need it to be a deterrent and also take down some stuff if I needed to take it down. So, what we doing with these band dogs, we the wave. You know what I'm saying? Us in the few individuals out here that's pushing these band dogs, we the wave right now. So keep motivated, keep doing you. I love it. I'm thankful that you came on. We gonna stay in touch like we always do. I'm gonna stay
You
encouraging
already know,
you.
famo.
Appreciate your support. On all my platforms, and like I said, and vice versa. I'm gonna do the same, man. But other than that, I'll let you get back to your wife and your kids. I got to get back to my wife and take care of these dogs. The work don't stop over here. You already know what it is. But to the chat, we appreciate you guys showing up. Thankful for the comments and stuff like that. And hopefully you guys show up for episode 8 of Band Dog Talk with the Dog Guy, man. We're gonna keep this shit going, man. But hey,
Yeah, hey, we gonna have something for y'all next week, man. Me and my boy, we gonna go back to the lab. We gonna cook up something for y'all, man. We
you
got a
know
surprise for y'all.
you know how it goes. So man, if you ain't got nothing else, man, we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. And man, until next time, y'all, you know what I'm saying? We'll get back to it. You know what I mean? But like I
You
said,
already
big
know,
ups
man.
to you. Much
Y'all
love
make
and
sure y'all
respect to you.
tap in with me. Tap in with me on Instagram. It's R.K.B_dogs. Facebook is Little Short Calico. And you already know my YouTube channel, man. R.K.B.B Ultimate Catch Dogs.
Oh, yeah, y'all make sure y'all go follow all his platforms that he mentioned. You know what I mean? The young brother is doing his thing. It's all about support. So make sure you go tap in with him. And also hit that like and subscribe button, for your boy
Man,
boy. You know what I mean?
make sure y'all share this out too, man. Share this to a friend. Make sure y'all tell them to share it to another friend, man.
And definitely share it out. You know what I mean? Good content, and we're gonna keep delivering this good band dog talk, every week. So what I mean, for us dog men and women out here, you got something to listen to, something to learn, and appreciate when it comes to these dogs. So, but other than
Yes,
that, man, we
sir.
about to wrap it up, man. You know what I'm saying? You have a good night, and man,
I'll tap
until the
in with you,
next
family.
time. You know what I mean? But all right, y'all, we done. We out of here, man.
All right. Appreciate the chat, y'all. Y'all stay blessed, man.
Yes, sir.
And
Salute.
keep on grinding. Keep on grinding.
Keep on grinding, y'all. Y'all heard them. All right, man, we done. But deep, that's all, folks.